Everybody, it is Matty here today with episode 206 of the H.A.M Radio Podcast.
And it's me, Karak with ACG.
Oh, Karak, we are in for such a special episode. Do you realize that?
Special.
Oh, man.
Well, no, but you continue to talk about it, which makes me think it's going to be quite unique.
So, we're doing things a little different this episode. For the last two, we haven't been live on Twitch, so for those of you who are familiar with the show recently, we have been doing this live, but we had to take a 2-week break, technical difficulties. We had a guest on, so we did not go live. But this week is our E3 special, and every podcast is doing their E3 stuff. and I've seen, because I listen to a decent amount, I've seen so many people doing their predictions, but I've also seen people create their own fun games. I haven't seen anyone create this game, though, Karak. This is a very special game. This will be your game of the year, I believe. You'll have this on the list at the end of the year. So, what I have done for this episode is I've created a Karak quiz. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I have created a quiz of E3-based questions, and I will ask you them, and we will grade you next week. But they're 21 questions.
Oh, let's do this.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped. Like, I spent my whole morning just, thinking these up and trying to, put it all together. Karak's adjusting his sleeves. Yeah, this is going to be a good episode. Anyway,
it's going to be good.
Before we get into this quiz, though, I want to start off with just some announcements. I'm going to be streaming all weekend into E3. It's going to be a really busy week, like with any gaming channel, just because there's going to be so much stuff happening. So I just want to make sure anyone listening, whether you're on Twitch or you're listening to the podcast afterwards, that you're aware of that. You also may notice if you're a consistent viewer and you're listening to the uploaded version, that this episode is going live a day earlier. We're doing this on Saturday to the public. The reason for that is because E3 is on Sunday. We want this show to be something you can listen to, partake in, enjoy the quiz a little bit more. Although it will still be enjoyable because then you'll know the answers quicker than most if you listen later. But for those of you who are listening on the Saturday and you're noticing it's early, yes, this was a part of the plan. So anyway, those are my plans. Anything with you?
Same. We got to figure out which one we're going to try to stream at the same time.
Okay.
Which I forgot to talk to you about. And then, just the same. Pretty much streaming them. I'm not doing reaction videos, so it's going to be more. It's going to be more like just streaming them and sitting down and talking and yakking while we do them.
Yeah, I'm on the same page there. I actually was doing the same thing because, I'm gonna react, and obviously if there's something like a Fallout 3 remaster, something that or KOTOR, something that
if there's something unique and grabby,
then I'm like, okay, the reaction can go up. But anyway, let me just get the timestamps ready here. That's the one thing I forgot in my slew of plans. Okay, so now, with all of our future stuff out of the way, let's talk about the Karak quiz. Karak, did you think you'd be doing this today?
No.
Were you ready for this?
No, it's just like Neil deGrasse Tyson's Star Talk, where he doesn't know the questions before he goes, but a much dumber version, where I'll get approximately 0% of them right. But I'm good. Let's do it.
Because I sent, a little backstory. I sent Karak a message on on Twitter, and I was just like, we're doing E3 predictions today. I have a surprise for you. That's all I said.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not quite sure what this means.
You're probably like,
you're like, do you want to do it live? And I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to do it live? Is this going to be like a horrendous thing?
I credit you, though. Without even knowing, you were just like, yeah.
I'm in.
Let's do it live. So, let's get this started. This is a series of true or false questions, multiple choice, fill in the blank. All that you had back in high school, college, is coming back. So let's start off with the first one. True or false, Karak? THQ Nordic will have generated the most hype once E3 is over.
True.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have a little, on my phone, I have a little drawing thing, and I'm going to circle true. Hold on.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it. Yes.
How do you think we should measure hype?
Now, I was thinking about that, and I was going based off retweets, Twitter feed, trailer views.
And we can count the multiple, like if they do multiple announcements, we would add up. Yes.
Yeah. So, okay. So let me circle that. Okay. So Karak says THQ will generate the most hype once E3 is over. Next is a multiple choice question.
Oh, shit.
During Microsoft's E3 presser, Phil Spencer will wear A, dress clothes, B, a blazer with a gaming t-shirt, C, nothing, he hits the stage naked, or D, an Xbox t-shirt with jeans.
Oh, man. So, I don't know if he's done the blazer in a while. He always wears and it would have to be an Xbox with shirt with jeans.
An Xbox-related franchise.
Okay, that one. Last one.
You're saying D.
Yeah.
Okay. D it is. All right. Number 3 is true or false. And by the way, a lot of these will be true or false. Okay. And by the way, I encourage the audience who's watching on Twitch, you guys, like Non-Accountable just did, he said D as well. Fire your answers in the chat. That's part of the fun here. True or false, though? A new Splinter Cell game will be at E3.
True.
True. All right. Oof. Oh, man. Just off the cuff. Now, any reasoning as to why you believe so?
Micro Ironside leaked it on accident 2 years ago, and then with the weird tweet that we saw, I think you and I might have even talked about this. The weird tweet where the multiple producers were like, "We're working on oh no, we're not."
Nah.
But I'm just gonna get. I mean, it's probably a weird year to do it, but this is more just me putting multiple things together. It's a weird year to do it when they're also doing the Ghost Recon stuff with Rosenthal or whatever his name is from Walking Dead, that guy, and from Punisher. But yeah, I just feel like it's time, and there's been a couple rumors about it, so I'll go with yeah. For sure.
Okay. Number 4. This is a short answer question. Your first of your quiz. Give me the probability of a Fallout 3 remaster and explain how you came to that percentage.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A Fallout 3 remaster?
Yeah. What's the percentage chance and why do you
At this E3?
Why? Yes.
Okay. At this E3. Oh, man, dude. Because I
had such a blast coming up with this shit.
One sentence?
Yeah, you can go as in as you want. It was kind of just to open up discussions too. So
I'm trying to remove my own desire for a Fallout 3 remake. Mm-hmm. No, I don't, because no, I do not. Something makes me nervous that it's a Bethesda question you asked that, which makes me think you know something I don't. So I'll say no,
Oh,
I
man.
do not. I do not, because we do have the enhanced version on the Xbox X. You know,
Okay.
like there's sort of a middle ground there for at least some users. Man, I hope I'm wrong, but I would say no, just because there's other things they could be working on, and it would be Fallout New Vegas as well, because that's the most liked one. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no, yeah.
Because of the Xbox.
Yeah.
BC. Okay. All right, Karak. Curious to see how you're scoring so far. If only I was, clairvoyant. Number 5. How many people will actually do the E3 drinking games that get passed around on Twitter every year for relevancy?
Oh.
A, 5 people. B, 5,000 people. C, 15,823 people. Or D, 50,000 people.
Is there a 0? Was A 0?
We could add E, 0.
No, we can do the lowest one.
All right, that would be A,
The
5
lowest
people.
one. Yeah. Now remember, I know no one who drinks, nor do I drink. So that's probably one-sided.
Okay. 6 is fill in the blank. It's a pretty much a prediction here. You predict that blank will have the best E3 showcase.
Microsoft.
Microsoft, okay. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, yeah.
It just seems likely. There's just too much opportunity for them to not bring everything out. And we just saw a leak this morning of that.
Yeah.
That Ninja Theory game, and when they said technical alpha, I was like, fuck, I want to play it now. Looks great.
Right.
Unbelievable. Okay, staying on track with Microsoft. Number 7 is a true or false question. Fable 4 will drop in 2019.
Oh, 2019?
Yeah.
Oh, Legends was. False.
False. Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. My heart wants it though.
My heart does too, and I was even looking back to when they canceled Legends, and I was like, could they have had somebody? Could Playground have been working on something? But I was like, just to make it right, I think Phil's more on the side of letting it work.
Right on.
Letting them have the time.
Okay. Short answer for question number 8. Hold on. I think I might have made a typo. Hold on. I'm rereading it. I have to read this right out loud. I must have messed this one up because of course I did this in the morning, so I was sleepy. I wrote, will we see Microsoft's new conference? If so, how much of it? If
console?
Not, yes. Console. Had to be console. Will we see Microsoft's new console? If so, how much of it? If not, why is that? Thank you. I was like, why did I write conference? I think I was thinking conference. Okay.
No.
Now, why is that?
They will for sure talk about it. But
okay.
Because the hardware is quite literally not completely solidified. That it would be crazy to see AMD just announce their stuff, and Microsoft uses AMD stuff.
Right.
So Microsoft has to wait for them and then put everything together, and I have a feeling Microsoft's a little bit more hedgy on that.
Okay.
So
Could you do me a solid and just like keep an eye on the chat, just because like my internet is fine, and yeah, if there's any answers or things that stick out to you or pop out to you, just because my shit's being really slow right now. But it says we have 161 viewers, which is great. That's a record for the H.A.M Radio Podcast.
No shit.
Okay, so Karak says no.
No.
Okay. Question number 9: true or false? Will we see at least 5 games supporting full-on crossplay across all systems announced at this E3?
Yes.
Oh man, he was off the bat. He was like, the question wasn't even done, and it's a yes.
Yes.
True.
And that's not including Stadia or Stadia or whatever, Stavia, whatever the fuck you call that thing.
Yeah, I don't really have anything revolving around that fucking hunk of junk.
Yeah, it's an odd one, that's for sure.
I'm just like completely negative interest. Number 10, another fill in the blank. VR will blank after E3 2019.
Oh man, I wish you hadn't asked me that.
I know you've been having fun with your new one. So
Reverb, dude, that thing's amazing. I am gonna say I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna say not. What's a lesser term for the term explode? Will
progress.
Yes. Due to Microsoft stating when they talk about their new system that WMR is compatible.
Okay. Okay, so you think it will progress?
It will. Yeah. It will. Or escalate. You know what I mean? Elevate.
Escalate.
Like it will. Yeah. It will definitely go up.
Minds. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another fill in the blank. This one's fun because we always have that one ridiculous one. Blank will have the longest conference.
Microsoft. No, wait a minute. Epic's doing the game. Oh man, which one?
Because there's still like the PC gaming show. Yeah, Devolver.
And then Devolver loves to just drone, which is the funny part. But Microsoft added 30 minutes, so
they were like how long last year? About an
they
hour.
were already like they were like hour 45, 2 hours. Like it was insane.
Wow.
So yeah, I thought somebody said something like 2 hours and 15 minutes for this one, or 2 hours and 30 minutes. But Devolver has a tendency. Ubisoft. I'll go. Yeah, I would say I'll go with Microsoft. Yeah, I'll stick with that. Yeah.
It's the hot button this time around.
Yeah, that feels like a safe answer.
Okay, I think that's a good answer too. Holy crap! I actually do have a Google Stadia question. I forgot about this one. True or false? The world is ready for Google Stadia.
False.
All right, and we'll see about that this E3 for sure. I saw Jeff Keighley posted a poll about your thoughts on Google Stadia, and I think
give me that data.
It was 70% of people saying like just I don't care, not interested.
Yeah,
that type of stuff. So
my internet, bro, is not ready. And I have amazing internet. It is amazing. 1,000 down, 30, 40 up, and it's still I would never trust 100% streaming.
Yeah,
ever.
Wow,
not even close.
Absolutely. Yeah, so still worth putting out there. Number 13. This one's funny. How many times will Microsoft emphasize Xbox is the best place for gamers? A, 1 to 3, B, 4 to 7, C, 7 to 10, or D, 11 to 20 times?
7 to 10.
7 to 10. Whoa, man, you're
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 7 to 10. 7 to 10.
That's pretty high. That's pretty high.
It's very high. I'm watching the Twitter. I'm watching your Twitch right now, and I'm doing this in the Twitch. It's like because I was scratching my head trying to figure the answer out for that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sweet. C is your answer. All right. So we got 7 left. Number 14. Which major conference will have the most awkward silences? A. Microsoft. B. Bethesda. C. Square Enix. Or D. Ubisoft.
I'm going to go with Square Enix simply because this is going to be their first like major one, and that I have a feeling there might be an announcer kind of thing, and that like they won't know
like
how
something
to
out of touch.
Yeah, something out of touch, or they won't know. Yeah, where it's like everybody should be excited and everybody's not excited. So I can see that first show up where things are just not going well for them.
Okay. Okay. I'm excited to see the compilations afterwards, because there's always one of those. This is like one of the best parts. Number 15 is a true or false question. Ubisoft will open their E3 2019 conference with a semi-cringe Just Dance announcement. Where they all hit the stage. You think they open that way?
I do. They've done it twice, 2 times in a year, or year after year. I absolutely think Just Dance will be an opening.
It's such a flat way to open it.
It's fucking weird. It's gnarly, and it seems like they are absolutely okay with it.
Yeah,
they embrace the shit out of that. Yeah,
I know. It's strange, really. Hold on, I'm just bumping down the watch quality because I'm not getting any chat updates. Which stinks. So I can't see what anybody's saying. We're
going through fine. Just
okay. So you know. Yeah. No, that's good. Or maybe maybe no one's even typing in the chat. Just we have so many viewers. I'd expect
No, people are. It is quite literally Twitch. I just checked another Twitch page and theirs is down.
Okay.
Even the browse pages look fucked up on some people's browses. There's no chat, and this guy's got 5,000 people. He's got 200,000 watching right now.
So long as one tweet. So long as we're live, right? That's all that matters. Because if we're not live, then we lose the episode completely.
Oh yeah, we would, wouldn't we? No, yeah. I'm watching us. I saw my head. I'll leave it on. I saw me scratch my head, and now I'm pointing.
All right,
so
perfect, we're good. Perfect. Speaking of technical difficulties, wow, this is just a great segue. Number 16 is another multiple choice question. Which E3 show will have the most technical difficulties? And this is a lengthy one. A. EA Play. B. YouTube Gaming. C. Microsoft. D. Bethesda. E. Square Enix. F. Ubisoft. I didn't include like every single one just because.
Right.
Then we'd go down to fucking H.
I don't think Microsoft will have any issues. I would say, did you put the PC gaming one?
I did not, but we can add that.
I would say PC gaming.
Okay.
The PC gaming one.
PC gaming show. That is your answer. Let me just type that in. Add that to the test. This is how Karak got through school. He just banged in his own answers, even if it was multiple choice.
No shit.
Right, and just be like, this is what it actually is.
They're like, what is our moon called? Uranus. They're all right. I guess I guess I'll answer it.
17. Another multiple choice. Which game journalism site is most likely to post a stupid hot take mid E3 that's designed to be a fun killer? A. Polygon. B. IGN. C. GameSpot. D. Game Informer. Or E. Kotaku.
Polygon.
Polygon.
There is quite literally no shadow of a doubt. And I'm also in your Discord asking them to discuss in here too.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I appreciate you handling that side of things. Number 18, true or false? Halo Infinite will be open world.
Oh man,
that's a tough one, right? I was like,
dude,
either way.
I seriously do believe there's. I mean, I told you this. They don't name it, on accident.
Mm-hmm.
Open world or worlds, right? I would say
open
true.
Space, yeah.
Yeah, I would say true.
Okay.
I really fully believe that that's Microsoft's plan.
Because we've heard Gears of War 3 is open. Or 5, sorry. I don't know why I said 3.
I did hear the rumor of that, yeah, and I did not know that. So if that turns out to be true, I could see Microsoft trying to nail it, right? With two of their biggest titles being like what a lot of people consider the technical difficulty of doing an open world.
Mm-hmm.
I think it grabs people's attention, and I think that they...
It reminds me of... it actually reminds me of a period of time of all games. I remember it was 2012, and open world games were starting to climax. And then I was watching a review for Lego Lego, was it DC or Lego Batman 2?
Lego Batman 2 is the one you're talking about.
And
I know
it was
what
like the first open world Lego game, and I remember saying, "Whoa, that's open world," and I bought it because of that. So I feel like the same effect still happens nowadays for a lot of people.
Yeah, just so you know, people in your chat, because that's where they are right now, is they're saying Halo Infinite will be open world.
Okay.
Multiple people are thinking that. With a name like Infinite, it will be open for sure, Destroy the Grave says.
Okay. Thank you. Perfect. I appreciate characters being the in-betweener here. I'm going to refresh my page
does
again.
not love us.
I'm going to refresh my page. We got 203 viewers, man. Like, this is shit, like... I wanna see what people are popping off with in the chat. This is the fun part, the quiz. And I can't even enjoy it. All right, whatever. Number 19, ladies and gentlemen, along with Karak. How many games drop, quote, right now, end quote? A, 1 to 3. B, 4 to 7. C, 8 to 10. D, 11 to 15. Or E, none of the above. No games drop that immediate moment at E3. And this is, by the way, across all shows.
I knew you were going to say that, and I was also thinking there's the rumor of the one mobile game going live.
What game?
And I'll count. I can't say it on the thing.
Fuck!
I'll tell you afterwards. But there's a rumor, and it's not a big one, by the way. But it's a big enough game that if I say the name, you're like,
Shelter Online.
I heard about that too, and I feel that. So I am going to say 1 to 3, even though I have a feeling it's going to be above. But that's, I think at least 1 or 2. Yeah, 1 or 2 mobile games alone. Kopi says 1 to 3. Mick Fury says 8 to 10. They're all live right now. Gears of War, fucking Halo Infinite. They're all live.
Okay, we're nearing the end here. Number 20. Fill in the wow. I had a typo there. I wrote fill in the black. Fill in the blank. Would you give this quiz a buy, wait for sale, rent, or never touch?
Buy. That's awesome. Buy. Perfect. I like that kind of stuff.
That's one you already got right. We know that. Number 21, the last question is an actual game-related question. True or false, THQ Nordic will announce a Simpsons Hit and Run remake at E3.
I am going to say true.
Oh, wow. Okay, because I know I think it's the creators of Simpsons are going to be there.
They are going to be there, and I'm just going to, and everybody here is saying true. Literally everybody's like, true, completely true. We're all just going on love, right? It has nothing to do with...
No facts, no logic.
And I don't even know how well they sold. And I don't even know how much they're watched right now versus the old days or how cogent they are in, like, the current media. But I would say yes, because I want it, and that's what matters.
All right.
Yes.
I like that. I like that reason right there. Okay, so Karak, that is your 21 question quiz.
Excellent.
We will be sure to grade what we can next week. I'm sure most of these I made just kind of for fun, but some of them we obviously won't be able to grade. But stuff like obviously the data-filled questions, we'll be able to see how well Karak scored. But you already know he got one right because he said this quiz was a buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that was kind of the little sizzle I wanted to add into our show to start things off, put us in a good vibe. For our predictions, because what I was saying early on was that every show has their predictions, but we like to do something special here. We have a pretty consistent show. We take pride in that. We want to give you guys something fresh and new. So I hope you guys enjoyed that quiz. I'm looking forward to reading everyone's answers also in the comments if you guys want to go back and listen and do that. But anyway, let's get into our predictions, and we still have patron hot takes and questions at the end of this too. And if you guys like these kind of special themed episodes, around certain events in the industry, and you like us getting crafty with the podcast and not just doing kind of talk shows as per usual, be sure to let us know. This is a fun way for us to improve the show. We got a couple of Twitch subs. Sheffilism, I saw Colby sub. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the fun on Twitch as well. Really appreciate that. The chat will put that for some reason. It'll tell me I got a sub, but it's not gonna.
Yeah, I'm watching
tell
that
me
too.
I'm getting a message. Well, that's why we got the Discord for. Anyway, let's get started with predictions. These are just going to be within reason, without reason. Maybe evidence is out there. Karak, have you got anything you want to start off with, or shall I begin the fun?
You can begin on this one.
Okay. What sucks was one of my big predictions throughout the week for so long was I wanted to see Batman Court of Owls.
I knew you were going to bring that up. Yeah.
I was like, that's got to happen. Because especially when Rock said, he's like, we're not going. I'm like, boom, stage is wide open. And then I think it was lead producer.
It was. Yeah, he said he was not on a plane. He was
he
at
said
home
like
or whatever.
he was like, I'm on a line in a movie theater in Montreal, not near any airports or on a plane. Just thought you'd not want to know. Like I said, like, hey, we're not going to be at E3. In a facetious way. So that's not going to happen. So I was like, man, what we felt so spoiled with Batman games for so many years, and then here we are now. Seems like we were going to at least get one. But they're really taking their time with it, and who knows what Rocksteady's working on. My prediction for Rocksteady has always been they're doing an open world Ninja Turtles game.
I saw you talking about that.
Absolutely what I hope to see from them. But anyway, my first prediction is we're going to see that Harry Potter game. That's gonna get its official reveal. I think it'll happen during Microsoft's conference, and I think it'll release sometime this year because it looked pretty well along in the leaked trailer. And I imagine they delayed it so people would forget. It's kind of out of the discussion for a while. And I think it was actually a smart choice because, we see major channels sometimes talk about it, but it's not like a super prevalent topic anymore, aside from like day one of the news, from what I've seen. But do you think that's something that'll happen?
Yes. I absolutely think we'll see the Harry Potter game. At very minimum shown. That was far enough along that when we saw it that like you couldn't mistake it for a mod or a leak. Like a fake leak.
It looked like production.
It was legit production, legit showing it to people, maybe internally,
right?
Maybe investors, something crazy like that. There was enough going on. I just don't know what company would be working on it. If we know that certain companies aren't going to be at the show, then you can sort of identify them as not being there and not being the ones to show it. But yeah, I absolutely think we will see Harry, and I think it'll say something like "Return to the World of Magic." It'll be like that because it has been a while. Even though we did have the other ones, you've got the mysterious creatures ones, but that's not really the same to a lot a people. So,
it's funny. I was actually in GameStop yesterday in my mall, and I was just looking around because my girlfriend and I were there, and we saw like a bargain bin rack, and I was like, I haven't looked at one of these in so long. So I go up to it, and the first game I actually pulled out was Harry Potter, I think in the Deathly Hallows Part 2 or something like that. It was an Xbox 360 game, and like there was a sale that said like buy four 360 or PS3 games, and it's $10. So if they're $5 and under, you buy 4 of them, you just get it for $10 flat, which I was like, that's pretty cool. See what's available. So I just like grabbed that just to see like pricing and stuff, and it was $20. Like there's some 360 games that I started going through the shelf. And there was like Call of Duty Black Ops 2, $18. There were these old 360 games. Call of Duty makes a little more sense because I'm sure people still go back and play it. I'm sure those servers are still semi-active. But it was amazing to see some games and how high priced they were. So talking about Harry Potter reminded me of that. Big thanks to DrumsRock36 for that sub for Twitch Prime. Appreciate you guys once again just supporting the show and what we're doing here. Anyway, have you come up with any predictions, my friend?
No, Harry Potter, I think, will be shown. I think
I can continue if you want. I have a couple more. I'll get the ball rolling here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I was thinking we'll see Babylon's Fall this year at Square Enix's conference. We got a reveal last year. It was just in a cinematic trailer, and you couldn't really tell where it was in its development. But I think we'll actually see some gameplay this time around. On top of that, I also want to predict that we're going to see Nier Automata 2. I think maybe it won't be called Nier Automata. Another Nier game though, because Nier Automata 2. Oof, that reminds me of like Skyrim too, because it was like Nier Automata, so it'll probably be like Nier. I think we're going to see that though. I think the game did surprisingly well, like shockingly well, even for Square Enix.
It's at 4 million.
Yeah, like it sold a ton. It's still selling. Reviewed extremely well. People want more. I think it's been just over 2 years. I think an announcement with some type of just cinematic trailer. I think it's time for that. I think I agree. It wouldn't be a force by any means. I think it would make sense just to let people know more is coming.
I wonder what form it'll be in though.
What do you
mean? Well, Nier Automata is nothing like Nier, right? Really, I mean, in the world and the one's fantasy, one's future. It's like what will we see? Because when it'll take place. the world it would take place in, all that. Yeah, because they don't seem to have any issues with just being like, boom, we're in a totally different, we're doing a totally different thing.
I think it would move things along. We don't obviously want to spoil the game, but I think it would move well past where the story concludes after you complete all the routes or the arcs, or what, I forgot what they call them. I think that's where it would pick up many, many years after that. Just because kind of like what happened was, like, you had Nier 1, which was sort of the almost like ancient age of that world, and you saw that connect into Automata, which had moved many years ahead, and that conflict was resolved. And then I feel it just makes sense to just, all right, move everything ahead, leave these characters be.
Right.
It's just, man, that game's biggest strength was the mystery, like the mystery of the moon, the mystery of Yorha, the mystery of like why Earth is completely desolate. Like, oh god, it was so good. So I think it's time for more.
Yeah, so do I.
Because they said Square Enix wasn't. I think, was it Square? One of them said they weren't doing DLC for the game at all. Like, I think Yoko Taro said, "I want to do DLC," and Square was like, "No, you're not."
Oh, gotcha.
And so I didn't know that. I think now that it's sold a ton, they're probably like, "Okay, let's do another game." That was definitely one of my big ones, though. Was expecting that, because so much stuff leaks ahead of time that sometimes predictions are like our Harry Potter one. They're kind of grouped together with some of the surrounding evidence, so it can be tough to make a blind pick. But that's definitely like one of my major blind picks. I hope we. This is a hope rather than a prediction. I hope we see a release date for. I always forget the name of it. I think it's called like the Night City or something. It's that indie game when we had D-Mart on.
We talked about it in my podcast too. It's the No Man's not. Yeah, the techno Babylon look to it. Reg brought it up. I can't remember the name. I can't remember the damn name.
But I know Night City. But go on.
No, I was just saying I know exactly what you're talking about. For me, I would say I have nothing to back this up, but I'm gonna go with it because this E3 is all about hope for me. I'm going to say that on Microsoft's stage, it's going to cut to a black screen. It's insanely dark.
The Last Night is what it was called, by the way.
The Last Night. It's going to be insanely dark, and you're going to hear some wind blowing, some lonely wind, and then you're going to hear somebody say, "Their masterwork's all, you can't go wrong." And it'll fade into Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, really? You think Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to get announced this early?
I don't. It has to, or I'll die. I'm so tired of waiting.
Didn't Capcom say they're making an announcement at Microsoft's? Oh,
they did, and his original thing was like, I had a choice between Dragon's Dogma 2 and DMC 5, and they chose to do DMC 5, which really succeeded.
I know the game was pretty good, apparently,
and it worked out because the game was pretty good and did well. And I know that it's just fans. I really want. I'm so done with wanting Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm getting actually mad about it. I'm just like I actually hold them responsible for not making the sequel.
I subconsciously resonate with that, and the reason I say that is because I always pick it up and I'm like, I just want something new. Like I bought it. I bought it once again on my PS3 a while ago. I tried to play it. I was like, no. I bought it on my PS4, Dark Arisen, because I was like, I never really played the entirety of Dark Arisen, which kind of plays like a different game.
Yeah.
And I tried it for about like 20 minutes. No, not 20 minutes. About like an hour and a half, I should say, rather. I was like, I'm not really feeling it. And then I was looking at it on the Switch. I was like, $30. It's a pretty good deal. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I just know I want another one.
The sequel. Yeah. I'm so beyond ready for a new Dragon's Dogma. So I'll just go out there. I think one of the big problems is a bunch have been leaked, Matty. Like, it's really hard to even guess what is going to be there because we've got Harry Potter was leaked so long ago that we would be talking about Ninja Theory right now because we were talking about Ninja Theory the last couple podcasts, and now we know what they're showing. So it's hard to know what the surprises are. We know what a good number of Microsoft's titles that they're showing. So it's very difficult to sort of do any guesses on brand new titles. So I'm trying to guess outside the box with like a Capcom.
What we'll do
Dragon's Dogma.
We know Microsoft is all their first-party games or the first-party studios are going to be showing something off.
Yes.
So I'm looking for a list right now
of first-party studios.
They have Undead Labs, Turn 10, Obsidian, In Exile, 343, Rare, Playground, Ninja Theory, which we now know what they're doing, Mojang, the Coalition, who's obviously doing Gears of War, and Compulsion Games.
Compulsion isn't ready to show anything because they came off of
We Happy Few.
We Happy Few.
And that sucks because they seem like they're a studio with good ideas. Like the two games I played for them, We Happy Few, and the one before them was like that platformer where you like go into the shadows and it turns into 2D.
Limbo? No, that was not Limbo. I don't remember the name.
Reminded me of that. It came out way before that though. It was a 2014 game, I want to say.
I do know Undead Labs is for sure showing the big expansion for State of Decay, too.
Oh, there's a big expansion coming.
Big, and the rumor I heard, which I do not believe now because the other rumor this person told me turned out to, I know is not true. Of course, that doesn't mean much, but was that it is a Sea of Thieves level upgrade. As in, it takes State of Decay 2 to where it should have been, technically, and
that would be cool.
like, yeah, and so I don't know if that's true. I do know State of Decay is a fairly big company now for what they're making, which is just State of Decay, and they've been pretty quiet other than the little baby DLCs they've done, which are great. But they're like a game mode and then like a couple extra characters. It hasn't been that huge thing,
and
right?
I know like the player base is pretty substantial, but
the player base is big
for people like you and I who are like kind of cool in it. Maybe not playing it a lot, like a big State of Decay, Sea of Thieves update. That would be huge to pull us back.
Yeah, and then I heard a rumor I know is not true, but I said it in your Discord anyway, which is that the rumor was that Microsoft was remaking Viva Pinata 1 and 2. And I'm going to tell you right now, if that turned out to be true, I would... KOTOR, Baldur's Gate, Viva Pinata.
Oh,
They're
really?
all equal.
Really?
Dude,
I've never played
Pinata,
Viva Pinata.
I have 2,000 hours in Viva Pinata.
What? What is that game?
1,000 hours.
What is it?
2,000.
Because I remember like I think I was in middle school, bro. I was in 8th grade when people were talking about that game, and I'm like, it looks like a platformer or something. I thought like
no.
I looked at the cover art. I judged it by that. I never looked into this game though.
It's like Pokemon because you are breeding these characters, but there's thousands of secrets. So like you'll get a duck pinata and another kind of pinata, but if you grab the duck and you light a torch next to him and the duck accidentally flies into the torch, he becomes a fire duck, which then can breed with another duck.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. And the graphics are fucking on the the graphics even on the 360 were in fucking incredible. And there were 2 of them, and the second one had co-op. And and so you created your own garden. Yep, and you created your own garden. You could have fucking like all these hundreds of different types of pinatas. Then you could upgrade your garden with all and you feed certain pinatas foods and they transform. Sometimes if you bred them at different times, they transform. So there are all these hidden. It was one of those games, right? Where like, and you were making money when you sold them. So they would go to parties.
Toy box mode.
Yeah, they would go to parties. So like kids would hire your pinatas to go to their birthday party. That's how you were making money. And it was
that's funny.
And I mean 2, 3. My wife, girlfriend prior to that, and maybe a girlfriend prior to that. That's all we played.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dude, it was insane. Like it was just like, hey, let me show you this game, and people would just be like, what the fuck? This is amazing, and just sit down and. That was the rumor I heard, which, like I said, I don't think it is true. I would love to see them remaster it, though. I would love to see new players get a chance to try out Viva Pinata.
You think like Rare could be doing that?
I do think Rare could do yes, I do personally believe that Rare could be doing a remaster. I'm not saying they are. I do feel that one, and in particular the way Microsoft is, that something like that could absolutely be popular enough for them to hit it. They had a cartoon for 5 years, so...
True. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to surmise what Microsoft's doing. You look at Obsidian, okay, The Outer Worlds. You look at, obviously, Undead Labs. We were talking about State of Decay. In Exile, we're going to see more of Wasteland 3. So Microsoft did get some pretty big, beefy RPG-like studios there. We know that probably, it seems like, based off leaks of videos and... details. A lot of that coverage has popped up on my channel. Fable 4 is coming. So Microsoft's really like focusing in on RPGs, it seems. Yeah, they're addressing a need. And open world is something maybe they lacked, and you're seeing them take series that were established like Gears and Halo and turn those, maybe not Halo. I mean, I know the chat and you think so, and I could agree with it, but we don't know for sure yet. But we know Gears is at least heading in an open world direction, and maybe Halo will follow suit, where they seem to be evolving their series and creating and buying new studios to fit these needs that they have.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting future for them, and it'll be an interesting conference because I have my eyes mostly on Obsidian and In Exile. I'm really excited to see what they do. Of course, I'll be looking very hard for Fable 4. That's kind of like my big anticipated one.
Do you think you're going to see Dying Light 2 shown for the first time, a quest on Microsoft stage? Because I do. I have a feeling, since they're not doing their own, like, whatever, it just seems to fit that Microsoft would say, they've never shown a quest, let's do it.
It's really... Well, they did show... I saw a private, like, behind-the-scenes thing, but if I remember correctly, did they show a trailer and then, like, choice and consequence at the end?
Yeah, but they didn't show a quest. Like, they didn't do the thing that you and I sometimes will see where they'll be like, John is level 12 and he's in this area and these guys are going to, and sort of go through a moment in the game. And I would love for them to do that. And I don't care what stage they're on.
I don't remember if it went live or not. I know I saw it.
Oh, I didn't. Maybe it went out.
I was at E3 last year, and so yeah, it was really good. It was showing the open world. It showed like a part where you kind of crawl through a really dark area where a bunch of zombies have gathered up, and it shows that like the game kind of changes atmosphere and its gameplay structure just like that, where it went from like free running and escaping to just like instant stealth and tension. And then once he escaped, it turned into, combat mixing with parkour. It was really good. And he put like a knife into a flag and like slid down an entire building to like slow his fall. And then at the end, they showed the choice and consequence on like how the town and the world changed based off the decisions you made, which I thought was really cool.
I did see that.
Okay, so I think maybe we saw the same things. Maybe I saw different bits and pieces.
Yeah, and what I'm talking about is more along the lines of a game in progress.
Oh, I want to like the full, like a 10-minute stretch.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Where they're like, John's been fighting for blah, 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 and he's here, and we're going to go take out these bad guys. And then he runs, and that kind of thing.
Right. How about studio acquisitions? Microsoft's got to have at least one up their sleeve.
Yes. They have two.
Two? They have two,
yeah.
He says. He puts a number on it. I've heard one.
Start with the... Hang on. Can you look at your Discord? Can you look at your Discord? Yeah. Does it start with that letter?
No.
Because I don't want to say the name. Oh, okay. That's a different one than the one I heard
so
about.
we have, like, different information. Here's what mine starts with.
Okay. What? Are you kidding?
No.
Is it who?
All right. This is like gossip.
Sorry, guys. Oh, dude, that's the other one. That's the second one.
Okay.
Okay. So we're overlapping on one, and I was going to tell you mine. Sorry, guys, for the secret code, but there's some things you don't want to put out there and be a dumbass.
Well, it's more so you don't want to put it out there because then we just lose our source.
True that. The one I said it has about a 50% chance of being right, I would say. So yeah, but that one definitely is the second one I said when I was saying there was two. That is absolutely the second one. So that's interesting. We both heard it. That'd be cool.
The problem with we both knew something, so I was like, I want to hear your guesses, and you're like, I also know. It's like, oh well, fuck.
And if I wasn't in Discord, I would have just said the name out loud, or in Twitch. So people understand the problem with these kind of things is, number one, you don't want to say it if you don't know you're right. Like, that is shit. Number two, you don't want to say it if, like, the person telling you is like, hey, don't say anything.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Okay, got you. And so there's some difficulties there with, like, how much you can leak. And being in the know sounds cool, but it really is not. It's sort of cool, but at the same time, I've been in the know multiple times for things that don't pan out too. So if you speak up and something doesn't pan out,
like an ass. Yeah, you just look like
you look like a jackass.
You're like, well,
this is for sure happening. That'll be me at the end of the quiz when we get done with E3. We'll look back and be like, he's a jackass, man. He got none of these right.
I should have told you just so you could make a quiz in response, and then I could.
Oh no, I will.
Equally as stupid. Oh, you
bro,
will.
I unfortunately won't have an E3 one, but I'll come up with one. Okay. Oh yeah, you'll be challenged.
I am totally fine with that.
It's game on, bro. Game on.
Oh, okay, I like it. I love surprises, man. So, all right, how about we look at Ubisoft's? We know we got Watch Dogs Legion. I read this on a Kotaku article, but there's a game called Roller Champions. I didn't hear about this leak, but apparently
Me neither.
That's a thing. We'll start off with, I guess, Assassin's Creed. I think we're gonna see a trailer at the very minimum for Vikings, and they're gonna announce like it's a next gen thing, or say like coming fall 2020, or just coming 2020 probably. Where do you stand on that? Do you think we see more Assassin's Creed?
So, I'll stick with my answer I gave this morning on, like, I do not. I feel that Watch Dogs will be something about Watch Dogs will be talked about or discussed. I feel that Assassin's Creed Odyssey is truly its name. It's an Odyssey. It just got new DLC, and it's getting a quest maker for players to be able to make their own quests in that game. The game is like 280 hours long, Matty. There's few games in the world that have delivered that much DLC. It's a great game. And people I know are at 200 hours, aren't 100%, and the word they consistently say is fun. Like, that's ridiculous. I feel that Assassin's Creed's far enough out that they could just let it percolate and just be like, dude, Odyssey's doing well. People are enjoying it. We got DLC. Let's let that sit. Watch Dogs, on the other hand, the rumors about the NPC thing have turned out to be true. There's,
they confirmed it on their own Twitter.
Yeah, and there's already some hints of how that works with you ability to scan in the prior two games, and you can see somebody's life, like pedophile, but lives near a school or whatever, and you'll be like, whoa, that's weird, because remember you can scan
take
people.
Control of them and just change that.
And, well, that's what I believe, is that you're like Anonymous, the hacker group, and so, but you'll be called Legion, you'll be able to like get them to come to your base or something to that effect. I think this would be a great year to show Legion, to just be like,
that's their big game.
This is the big game. I think that Assassin's Creed could be shown because it's a different. It's not Odyssey's developer, so it's possible. But I would rather see Watch Dogs. They have a lot of games, actually, Maddie. If you think about it, if they do a Splinter Cell and they do a Ghost Recon showing, maybe they show some stuff for For Honor some more. They've still got The Crew, and I don't know what their plans are for continuing that. Like, they've got a lot of games. This could be a year where they let Assassin's Creed percolate for a year.
It's not a bad idea. They certainly have enough to make up the difference for it. And, I was reading just now about Roller Champions because we were talking about it. It says Roller Champions looks to be a Rocket League-type multiplayer experience with character visuals in the cartoon-like art style of Fortnite. Art shows players skating around in an inclined track. Each avatar is highly customized with mismatched protective gear and an assortment of different kinds of skates. The lead player is holding a ball while another is shown flying into frame from the rear. The video shows multiple tracks, including brightly colored beach scenes and moody indoor arenas at venues all around the world. Unconfirmed reports say Roller Champions will be available on Switch, PS4, PC, and Xbox One. Menus show both ranked and custom matches. It's unclear if the game offers a local multiplayer option. Ubisoft responded and said they don't comment on rumors and speculation, even though there's actual footage out on the game.
Yeah, right.
I get a kick out of that, man. Just like that copy and paste PR response. It's too funny. Holy crap, the chat's working. Holy crap, it's working.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, it is.
Hello, chat. Hi. How is everybody doing? Once more, we have 200 people still watching live. Okay. Someone said Rainbow. See, this is why we needed the chat, because then I don't see this type of stuff. Someone said Rainbow PvE game is expected.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know about that.
So that one is, they originally reported it as possibly based on the sci-fi game that Watch Dogs 2 hinted at in their posters and on TV channels. That's been kiboshed, but it's PvE 1 to 4 against the world with Rainbow Six Siege style gameplay.
Okay.
And
so
that will for sure be shown. It is not. So here's the thing they said with Rainbow Six Siege, and it fits with what we know about Microsoft and Sony in particular. Microsoft and Sony now consider all their consoles one gen. Like PS4 will be low, the next one, and the next one. So Ubisoft has made it clear they don't want a sequel to Rainbow Six Siege. It's doing what it's doing. They like it. They don't want to split the player base. Smart. So what they're doing is they're taking their event game, which was the zombies PvE game that was in there, and they're basically and it's not zombies, by the way, but they're taking the ideas from that, taking the shooting from Siege, and making it a PvE game, which I think is the most intelligent way to split that off possible.
Is that the small RPG thing that Jason Schreier was talking about recently?
I don't know.
He said like there was because he originally made like a comparison to, what was it? He made a comparison to I think it was Breath of the Wild, calling it action adventure, and then he was like, no, it's smaller RPG.
Yeah, he got confused and said it had to do with the graphic style. That he saw,
that's
or he thought he saw. Yeah,
yeah.
And I haven't seen the graphics. I've just heard the.
But it was in reference to that game.
People. It was in reference to that game's graphical style. Yeah, in some way.
Okay. Wow, Blade98 said he spent money on the Patreon because the chat wasn't working.
He did. Yeah, I saw that. He was in your hey, what's going on, Muzzy? He was in your Discord like, I just spent money just so I could talk.
That's an MVP right there. Thank you.
Here's the thing people need to remember. Ubisoft is not only now fairly prolific, but has only a few missteps. Not a ton. Not a small amount. Crew 2 is a misstep. I think we both agree. Couple others that are missteps, but they have enough talent now that I think they can do what we're seeing now, which is grab a title, split it off, and say, let's keep the thing working. And what points to their strength? They delayed their Skull and Crossbones. To me, that indicates a position of strength, because they are like, we don't need to release it. We don't need to get it out there. We're doing fine. Let that game percolate and get fixed. And do this side stuff. So I love the idea of it. I want to play a PvE game anyway, dude. Because I thought Tropic Thunder, not Tropic Thunder. What the fuck? Boring Lands, whatever that was.
Oh my god, yeah, fucking. I
thought
boring.
I thought that was gonna be the PvE game of all games, right? Like Ubisoft
dude,
World
it was like
PvE.
the SOCOM replacement that we've all been looking for. Like it just had all the chops, and you're just like.
I was explaining to you in the demo. I'm like, dude, we were in a suburban, and there were like 4 of us going down this road, and we were going to an event, and then like after just a couple hours, I was like, dude, it's all the same. Yeah. It's just like it's not working.
So 3 times over.
Yeah, so I'm really, really stoked for this PvE game. I'm glad he reminded us, because that it does sound like it could be something very special if they do it right.
Yeah, I hope we see the fun Ubisoft announcement that we usually see every year.
Yep.
It always feels like they have this one like big surprise that is like a heartfelt game. And we saw, I'd say most recently was Mario and Rabbids. Now I think it's a bit of a cop out just go a sequel. But I think that's one that they should do a sequel for. It was highly celebrated. People were I know Twitter's not the end-all, be-all, but I remember seeing people just raving about it. And I just, oh man, I want to see...
Raving. Good pun.
Yeah, right? I was just like, I want another one of those. I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I think that might be my favorite game on Switch. Like, Smash Ultimate probably realistically is, but like when we go to single-player games...
You mean Rabbids?
Yeah.
Oh, it's mine.
Yeah, I'd really say that is for sure my favorite game on the Switch. It's just something really fun and special.
That game took movement and made it the main thing in a series of games that have never done that. Like ever. Every other game was a defensive tank-like type. It's like, I know that if I guard and Overwatch, and they're like, no, you need to move. And so you're constantly going through pipes and leaping off things. So, yeah, I would love to see a sequel to that.
Oh, Blade mentioned simulated gamer banter like what was in the Division trailers, but that reminds me of the Division. Do you think we see more of the Division 2? I'd say so. Early enough in the year. I'd say so.
And it's doing well. And I think
Zelda Breath of the Rabbids.
Do it. I think we're also looking at a time frame where it makes sense to just say, let's extend Division's life, or get people more excited about Return to the Division by showing a pretty sizable DLC, something very interesting in DLC.
Yeah. Oh, someone said there's a potential XCOM 3 leak. That would be awesome. XCOM 2 was in my top 10 games of the year when it dropped.
War of the Chosen's probably in my top 5 DLCs of all time.
Oh, really?
Or expansions, I guess is what. Yeah, Shivering Isles. I would put War of the Chosen close to Shivering Isles for me. It was that good. Wow. Are you looking right now for the leak?
Yeah, I'm just curious if it's if anyone's...
Yeah, people kept playing Division 2. Fuck yeah, man. Like, my entire Discord is still playing the damn thing. It's crazy.
Once I finished the Division 2, when I told you this, and I've said this story before, but just once I saw the map repopulate, I was like, I just moved on. I was like,
well, see, I'm with that with every game though. So like, what your reaction maybe just this one is my same reaction to all of them.
Oh, someone's talking up Frozen Wilds, Drudwin. And I know
Are you talking about Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah, it's got to be Frozen Wilds.
Oh, dude, yeah. Frozen Wilds is one of the best DLCs ever. Yeah, it's within the top 5. I would say, like, Jack the Ripper for Syndicate, War of the Chosen, even though that's not DLC, it's an expansion. So I think it's even a standalone now. So maybe that's not even fair to bring that up.
That's why
Shivering
I was like, oh,
Isles.
really? I was confused.
Yeah. No, it's just it's because now it's also confusing, right? It's like some are DLC, some are expansion, some are microtransactions. It's so confusing.
Burial at Sea Part 2 is my favorite DLC of all time now.
What is?
Burial at Sea Part 2 for Bioshock Infinite.
Oh, Bioshock Infinite. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom, you can post the XCOM link. You're fine with that, man. Thank you for asking first. We appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, we don't want to spoil anything, but that's not a spoil.
Yeah.
Agent Hydra says AC Syndicate is underrated. You are correct, unless you're talking to me. But you can die in a fire. Fucking, I'm gonna push you into something. I'm gonna build something so I can push you into it.
Okay, so Ubisoft's conference, we really know most of what's coming. However, there is one that surprisingly has been, compared to last year, has been like locked down tight. And that's Bethesda. Let's get some predictions rolling for Bethesda. Karak, I'll start us. Fallout 3 Remaster happens. It's coming this year to the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. No, I don't say this, ladies and gentlemen who are listening live or the uploaded version. I do not say this because I know something. I have heard things, but I cannot confirm them. Once again, I've just heard. But I just feel like they've got to do it. They've got to do it.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Because I want it, but would they do that without doing the one that most people, not me by the way, consider the better one?
New Vegas?
Yeah.
I feel I don't want to say the smart thing, because I think it's just smart to do Fallout 3. Not because it's my favorite, but because Fallout 3 would just fly off the shelves. New Vegas would also fly off the shelves. Fallout 3 and New Vegas together would also fly off the shelves. Like, all these options to me fly off the shelves. So probably the easiest option for them without involving another company, more splits,
Fallout 3.
more rights, Fallout 3. But I think it happens because it literally is printing money. Like, that's how I view it. Like, obviously, there's work to be done. Obviously, there's shit that they have to change, update, whatnot. And I don't know how deep they go into it and when they go, let's just make a whole new game at this point. But when you have 4 studios now, one of them being more of a support studio, so really 3 Bethesda game studios, and you're trying to tell me, like, one of them, like Montreal, who did Skyrim Special Edition, who did, I think they did Elder Scrolls Blades mostly, who did Fallout Shelter. You know, they've handled these side projects that they couldn't do, like Fallout 3 Remaster, something that, like, has really been clamored for easily 3-4 years at this point. I'd say more like 3. I just find it really hard to believe that they haven't, like, looked at it and gone, okay, let's finally do this.
I would like it. I would like it if it was a good remaster and not like the collector's edition. Because I thought the collector's edition had all kinds of issues, especially with mods. They're gonna have to make it work with the mods. I don't know. I would love for it to be true as long as it looked like a good current game, or very close. I think that's the big problem. Is Fallout 76 didn't even look close to a current game. So, you know, what's Fallout 3 Remastered going to look like? Because graphically, it's going to have to sort of step it up. But I'd be very happy to see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would be Fallout 3 and Fallout 4's engine for sure. And at that point, you know, what sacrifices have to come, what upgrades come alongside that. We don't know. Do they have to re-record lines? You know, I know. The reason I don't say it should be a ground-up remake is because it's a huge open-world game with, like, a lot of density and a lot of voice and a lot of characters and a lot of, like, set paths and daily schedules that go under the radar when making a full-on game. And so I just look at it and wonder, you know, why not just kind of port it? And if they're just going to port it, then maybe a Switch version just makes the most sense when it comes to that. But I just... Part of it is my want for it. I fully admit it. I haven't made it a secret. But when you hear a mixture of things and it seems like everything's going right, and you feel like, okay, this seems like a good decision now. I feel like Fallout 3 could be something that happens.
Yeah, it'd be weird because I think a lot of people would see Fallout 3 getting remastered, and people would say the one thing you and I know doesn't really work in the industry, but it's like, why aren't you spending all those resources on fixing Fallout 70? You know what I mean? Like, that would be the first thing brought up but at the same time, it could be a PR stunt, or not a stunt, I don't want to use it that way, but a PR plus if they do a good job on a remaster too.
Right.
Restore some confidence.
Cam had actually mentioned just fix the PC version. That's my only request, and that could be another way, because it's the thing is, like, all versions of this game are just, like, hardly functionable. So
that is true.
It's kind of annoying. Someone also asked, could you see them bringing Fallout 4 to the Switch instead? The reason I don't think this is possible is because that game, as much as I've enjoyed it, and I've played it very recently, I'm doing the Road to Platinum, as most of you Twitch listeners and viewers know, and it's been a blast going back to this game. I mean, it's some of its flaws still shine pretty bright, you know, like when you go to certain locations and you're like, why isn't there a fucking quest here, even though it's clear, like, it got cut, like, they didn't hide that type of shit. You could tell there were some messes here and there, but there's still something really strong about the game, and I have to say, despite all that praise I have for it, it's not optimized well. It still doesn't run the best, and I just can't see the Switch doing it. Unless they change the art style, they do something to fully optimize this game and make it run better on what is considered, while I love my Switch, inferior hardware. I just don't think it could run Fallout 4. And part of it's because of Bethesda's optimization, because we've seen games as big as Breath of the Wild, but I don't think Breath of the Wild has as consistently active, or I should say as consistently busy, because it is a very active open world, but it's not as busy, where when you go into Fallout 4 and you go into the heart of the Commonwealth, where there's literally, like, locations dotted everywhere, and there's always, like, super mutants you're turning into, the Diamond City security guards, conversations to be had, like, a lot of data streaming in. I just don't think the Switch can handle, like, that level. I think it can handle the outside, the exterior, but if even my PS4, my base PS4 chugs when I get into that area, I think, you know, it's not pushing the boundaries of technicality, but I just think it's not something the Switch could run. Long story short. The Witcher 3, though, yeah, I mean, I've seen leaks surrounding The Witcher 3 come to the Switch, slick robbery, and I just think that only happens if they legitimately have to change the art style. If they go to, like, a Thronebreaker art style, that'd be cool. I'd like that, because that would look good, and that would make it possible, I think. But The Witcher 3 is arguably more dense than Fallout 4 in its questing and dialogue, so I don't know. I don't know if it sticks or not. It's one of those situations where it probably runs better on the handheld versus the docked. Doesn't Breath of the Wild run bad on docked mode? Well, I know when it first launched it did. I don't think it does anymore. I'm pretty sure patches came out to fix that. But anyway, we know when it comes to Bethesda conference, we're getting Wolfenstein. Doom is most definitely an October game. That's like a sure shot. That's definitely their big fall title.
Yeah. Do you think that'll be the major show or major game of the show?
Yeah,
for them.
Yeah, because last year they had that building rented. I took a picture in front of it for those who follow me on social media, and Karak, you might remember it, but they had like the 3 buildings with Fallout 76 on it, and that was their big event, or their big thing for the show. And then they did the same thing for Doom Eternal. This year they put Doom Eternal on that same building. So I'd imagine, Doom's their big game at the end of it all. But I don't think that stops them from making some announcements. I predicted that alongside all of these companies doing shows, because there's a little more space. This E3 is a little different. It's kind of in that in-betweener stage of console gens. We're going to see some reaches for announcements, for sure. We're going to see 2020 games that may not be fully ready just get announced, like with a name and a cinematic trailer. Bethesda last year certainly showed they're not afraid to announce games in advance. But one of my major, more realistic predictions is a Prey sequel. I think that happens, despite how Prey 1 didn't perform that well. I think they were happy enough with how the support for the game lived on, and what was the name of it? The DLC that I also really, really liked.
The Moon
Crashers. Yes.
Moon Crashers.
It's either Moon Crash or Moon Crashers.
Moon Crash.
Yeah.
The VR was terrible, by the way.
Really? I saw someone mention that in the chat.
Legit, her Moon Crash. Yeah, it was legit. It was legit bad. So I think we could definitely see Prey, but I think Wolfenstein's also one that it's time. They need to start showing more of that.
It comes out in July.
It comes out in July. Yeah, it's time for them to blow the, so, and this is something that happened prior was Rage 2. A lot of people complained about Rage 2's ad volume. There wasn't a lot. People were bitching about not seeing a lot of like advertising for it, and we haven't for Wolfenstein. And I think now is the time, right? Like, get people talking about it when you're only 1 month away from the damn thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Someone actually had mentioned Arcane Studios might be working on a multiplayer game, and I read that somewhere as well.
I read that somewhere as well.
I'm trying to find it. Here we are. This comes from October 2018. Earlier this year, Arcane Studios and Bethesda revealed that Dishonored series was going to be taking a break, which makes sense. I think it's smart because they completed the story. I think they got the job done. According to a new job listing, it looks like Arcane Studios is gearing up to release a multiplayer game and possibly a VR project. As you may know, Arcane Studios is split across two different teams in Austin and Lyon. We already knew that the former team was hiring explicitly for online. And now the aforementioned listing reveals Lyon is doing the exact same. Experience in AAA titles, multiplayer, VR, and games as a service is a plus, is the snippet from a new job listing for a dev tester. None of this should be taken as a guarantee that Arcane Studios' next project will be a multiplayer or VR game, but keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that Bethesda Game Studios, before making Fallout 76, they had hirings, and by the way, while it wasn't a free game, they said they were hiring for a AAA freemium game, and knowledge and monetization was a must, and then you saw 76 come out with its free constant DLC and its Atomic Shop. So I think hirings are usually pretty telling. The way I look at it is the process. You see the dev team and they go, okay, we need to address a need, and therefore we need to hire this person with this skill set. And they put that out there because they need to find that person. It's like they're not going to coax it or hide anything. They are directly looking for someone with a skill set to accomplish a task. So in my honest opinion, if you see multiplayer in a job listing for Arcane, they are probably making a multiplayer game. They're not like,
dude,
hey, I have multiplayer experience just because fuck it.
Dragon's Age Inquisition's a perfect example. I told you about that. It's like I was bitching about that prior to it coming out because they hired a bunch of MMO level designers. And what did we get with Dragon Age Inquisition? But a bunch of hinterlands. Yeah. It was quite literally MMO, and you could tell the moment they got hired, you're like, okay, I know where they're planning, to go with this. Yeah, you don't just hire somebody magically to throw off the world. We'll hire a monetization expert, and we won't have them work just because we want the internet to not know.
It's people trying to deny reality.
Yeah,
that's what it is. They're making a multiplayer game. Thank you for letting us know that information, because that's important to the discussion and why we have this live on Twitch as often as possible. It's pronounced Leon. Thank you. My globalization is quite rusty, if you guys can't tell when I try to pronounce some stuff. We saw multiplayer in an Arcane game previously, and that was in the DLC for Prey, and it was a good idea on paper.
Yeah.
But it didn't pan out as well. People were really displeased with it. I played it for a couple hours for a video, and I was like, yeah, this is just like, there's no progression, there's no reward system. And that's what's strange, is Bethesda games have this DNA, and their DNA very much is like armor-based first-person shooters. Very old school in nature. You see that in Wolfenstein, Doom. But when you look at, for example, their multiplayer modes, they also share a commonality in that their progression systems are ass. Like Doom, for example, did not have a good progression system as far as I'm concerned. It was very haphazard. Right. There was just stuff popping up on screen going like, you unlock this, you unlock that. And I'm like, what did I exactly unlock, though? It was very confusing, hard to manage, hard to understand what you were earning, what you were working towards. And I felt the same really applied to Prey's multiplayer, but in a way where it just didn't reward you. It was very haphazard in that manner. It was like, here's a fun mode that you should have endless enjoyment in. And it's like, this is just, I will go play the single player game again, or I will go do, it's funny because they released a PvE mode pretty much that contradicts that. It was AAA procedural generation. It's like, if my encounters can constantly be different, just like they could in multiplayer, why wouldn't I play the more polished one in a better design space?
In a better design space, yeah.
With more focus. It's strange. Shinji Mikami is going to E3, so we might see Evil Within 3 or New Tango IP. Which do you think of those two we see?
So I brought it up. We started talking about it in the podcast. We came across, he also did Dino Crisis.
Oh, maybe that's the Capcom.
So that's what
game.
I said. Yeah, I just laughed.
That's it.
And exactly, I just laughed and I said that, and everybody was like, "But it's Bethesda." I'm like, who knows what deals people are doing? And that's the thing. Right now, who knows when or what or who's going to announce what in what conference? So I'm like, I'm just going to go with Dino Crisis. Like that's I'm okay with that because I think
I will add that to the prediction list. Hearing that information, yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, because dude, Evil Within 2 didn't come out too long ago, so to already show a part of 3 would be a little odd to me. It wasn't that old of a game. It's only been out for a year, right? Because you and I reviewed that in fall of last year. Oh, 20. Okay, so a year, almost 2 actually. Well, a year and a half. But for some reason, it just feels like that's not enough time to turn. It's not. Turn around and yeah.
Think of it was a 3-year gap before we saw Evil Within 2 versus the first one.
Exactly.
And I feel like if they're gonna do anything, survival horror-ish from Shinji Mikami, I think they'll just do a new IP. I think the Evil Within franchise kind of just lost itself in the second one. It didn't perform well. It didn't have an identity. It kind of like shook off what I thought was. And I know I'm kind of alone on this one, but I thought the first one was excellent. I know a lot of people.
No, I was identical. Remember, I didn't like 2.
No,
either.
You and I agreed, but like when I think it was last time I streamed last week. I was saying someone asked me about the Evil Within, like what I thought, and I was like, I love the first one. Like I thought the first one was fucking excellent in many ways. It had some clunk, it had some jank, but I thought overall it was a really, really good game. And the second one, streamlined some things. It made some good choices, but it felt like an action game. And it's like this is the same shit we had an issue with in Resident Evil. And it crawled right in over to the Evil Within. Let's see here. Obviously, let's talk about 76. Fallout 76 is going to have its new DLC shown. Yeah. I think we're going to get a detail for the Nuclear Winter. I think we're going to hear a little bit about Wastelanders. Maybe just to soften the blow of what I've heard about Nuclear Winter. Because I've been told it is a VR mode, or BR mode, and that they're going to add multiplayer on top of that, which we saw in data mining, by the way. So this isn't like a super big secret, which is why I'm allowing this info to go through. We've seen Team Deathmatch be in these data mine files and like text for loading screens in these data mine files, showcasing that Bethesda is adding some type of multiplayer, and I think when people see, and by the way, this aligns with the most recent 76 update, ladies and gentlemen, that just changed the shooting in the game. The shooting and the movement in the game have been drastically improved. They've added damage numbers.
I saw the damage numbers.
Yeah, all of this shooting feedback and movement changes that have helped alleviate a lot of people's concerns with the game going multiplayer. Now, the only issue is it's a 30 FPS game, so that'll be interesting to see how it goes. But I think to soften that blow, they're going to be like, okay, here's this multiplayer thing, but in the fall, here's Wastelanders where we're adding a whole new story, choice consequence, yada, yada, yada. I think that's what they're going to do. I appreciate the subs. Vidine subbed. Trains All Day subbed as well. Thank you. Well, are you looking forward to seeing more on 76? And I know that may seem like a rhetorical question, like, oh, why would I look forward to it? But I asked that because has it been long enough where you were ready to have some interest reignited? You're looking forward to seeing Bethesda's take on BR and multiplayer in a Fallout universe, or are you just like, you know what? No.
You asking me?
Yeah.
Sorry, just making sure.
Sorry, I was reading the chat as I asked.
No, it's absolutely fine. I do not care whatsoever. No. I'm done. Fallout 76 is like not on my... It's on my radar because you bring it up and because you like inform me of the BR mode and stuff. And then if you were to play it, I would have to wait for you to play it a long time and then you to tell me it was worth playing for a long time before I would ever even think of installing it originally. So no, I'm done.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the only reason I stick with it is because of coverage and I don't know. There's like something enjoyable about its gameplay loop now that if it was in place at launch, I think more people would have liked it. I think the legendary vendor really helped save a lot of the game because you were originally getting all this useless shit, and then you're like, oh wow, now I can like recycle this and then get something new for it. And oh, now I got this cool gun or I got this cool armor, and it felt like questing, repeating shit, like, had some value to it other than just, like, filling up your stash, which was a whole other issue. You can put more important shit in there. It became a much more smooth game in the terms of its loop.
Yeah, but I mean, is that sort of like...
It's not
is
worth
that
picking
sort
up
of...
for.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I'm not having any sex at all, or some pretty shitty sex. Which would you pick? I mean, at some point, right? I mean, at some point, you look at it and you're like, well, I think better just sitting at home by myself.
I feel some people are going to argue and say all sex is good sex. We know some brads are sitting in that chat right now and listening. They're like, bro, I like put my dick in anything, dude. Like,
yeah, all right. Well, then they need to step up their game because they have no experience. There can be bad and good. Trust me. There's a rating scale on purpose. Yeah, I want to like it, and the idea of a Fallout co-op game, right, where y'all jump in, you can do that stuff, excites me to no end because I'm a huge Fallout 3 fan, dude. I like Fallout 4. I just eclipsed 600 hours in Fallout 4 VR. Just eclipsed 600 hours in it.
That's wild. How are your eyes doing?
Yeah, they hurt like a bitch. Actually. When I was doing the Reverb review, I was actually forcing myself to play other games because Reverb Fallout 4 VR is unbelievable. It is fucking...
So what changes, not to go off topic, what changes, like, versus you're wearing your Oculus and then you put on your Reverb and you're like, whoa, what's the difference here?
But between the Oculus and the Reverb, or between the Reverb and a normal computer?
I guess we'll just... What makes the Reverb version special? How about that? When you're using that...
Because it's the only headset so far that you do not have to take off to look at your desktop or anything you want to do. It's high definition. So it's the highest resolution. It's 2160 by 2160 per eye. The others aren't even 2160 for the entire screen, 2160.
Wow.
So the resolution is fucking unbelievable.
Wow, so it's like the full-on game, like...
It is the full-on game. I was editing Premiere videos in VR, which I have never done before. I was sending messages in Discord in VR. Like, when you go to the WMR Reddit, who's usually fairly negative on stuff, not in a bad way, but they're fairly critical because the headsets aren't where they need to be. Everybody there is like, oh, I don't like the bridge on my nose or how it fits, but holy shit, the clarity is unbelievable. Like, every single post says the same thing. They're like, there's this and this, but oh my God, dude, when you put it on, I was playing DCS and I have a picture, and I put the picture in my Discord, and people are like, is that the 4K version, or is that inside your screen? I'm like, dude, that's through the lens. Like, that's with a camera facing the lens. And people are like, it's insane. Insane. When you play Fallout 4 and you go into, what's the first place after the Red Rocket? What's the little town? Independence?
Concord.
Concord. You go in there and you start going into buildings, and the difference between a monitor in front of you is like being in the rain or looking at the rain through a window, right? Okay. Because in a video game, you're looking at the rain through a window, and it might look pretty, and you're like, wow, this looks cool. That's a normal game. But when you're in VR, you're in it. And I can't describe to you the difference when you walk into a building and the rain stops at the doorway, and you hear it go over your head because it has 3D audio. So you hear like the rain hitting and then go like, shh, and cut off as you go inside. It is insane, man. The best headset by a good amount.
Okay. I mean, I'm you know me, I'm like, gearing up to getting a VR headset soon. That's why I was watching your video, and I was like...
And I'm sure they'll drop the price. Yeah, and thank you for the retweet. I did see that. I'm sure, WMR, that's one of the best parts about them is they drop the price. And I did see somebody who's like, hey, man, people were bitching about not being able to get perfect tracking in the Reverb. So here's me beating an elite song in Beat Saber with the Reverb, and he nailed it. And people are like, okay, well, now I'm not going to argue anymore, because you'll hear a lot of people be like, oh, it's blah blah blah. Half of the fucking top people in those things are using those, so yeah.
Awesome. All right, so Bethesda's conference, mostly those predictions wrapped up. Who else did we have? We went Ubisoft, we did Microsoft, we did Bethesda, Square Enix, we did, and
what do you want to cover? EA on Saturday?
God, I gotta be honest. If you got anything to say, go for it. I don't care.
We're going to stream it. I just want to see Cameron, who is one of the best actors I've ever seen in a show. I want to see what they're doing with Star Wars with him, because they'll cover Star Wars.
It's the only game I'm interested in.
The leak they covered this morning said, the tweet said, the battle in Star Wars is not Dark Souls, nor is it like a 3D action game. They focus on ... Oh, well, we can't tell you right now. We'll tell you later.
I saw a Game Informer wrote that, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, foot speed, movement, maybe? Is it all about movement? The Surge tried to adjust things, and I think in some ways they really hit, and in other ways they didn't. Every company's tried a different thing. So, yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the only game I can really partake in with conversation. I like what EA is doing, where they are splitting it up, where they'll have like a sports section, I think a Star Wars section, just so like they don't have this conference where it starts off with sports, everyone's snoozing and making fun of them. Just split it up and let people tune into what they're interested in, because EA has become such like a big publisher. They can have like an indie showcase if they want and give everyone their time and their focus. But what I'm worried about, because I follow Greg Miller, and he's taking over the the panel, we'll say, for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Mm-hmm. And when I saw the script sitting on the table, I was like, all right, we're not getting anything concrete. We're getting like what EA wants us to know. And I just, I don't know. I guess maybe it's the transparency, because so much of that shit, like the way a game announcement happens, the way a gameplay is revealed, obviously it's what the company wants us to show. See. That happens many a times. But when you see like this thick packet of like, here's your script, here's the questions you're going to ask. And I know he said he's going to be including questions from Instagram, Twitter, whatever. But when I saw that, I was just like, okay, so I'm not going to get a good picture of this game until I get my hands on it. And since I'm not at E3 this year, I'm not going to play it. So that's also why my interest sort of dwindled. I saw that, I was like, nah, whatever.
Yeah. No, I get that. Makes sense.
Yeah. But I'll keep my eye on it. Next Battlefield's not till next year, so that's a little send, so we don't have to really look for that. I hope that with this Star Wars game, back to its gameplay, because I know you did mention that, I hope it kind of mimics, in a sense, For Honor and Sekiro, where Sekiro has really good, when you clash swords or weapons with someone, you really feel it. And there's this, it feels like an epic duel between two powerful people, and there's something really satisfying about that, even as someone who isn't like over the moon about the game. I really like that. And I'd love to see that with lightsabers, but also some of the cool, the camera angle and the way you sort of square up with someone in For Honor and you circle each other, even if it's online, like the way it works feels really good. And I'd love to see that in that game, sort of like a hybrid of those two. That's sort of what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm more looking for story in a weird way. I don't know why, but probably because the gameplay of those games have always failed me, in some way. So I'm just really excited for him. He's in Shameless. He's Joker in Gotham. He's an incredible actor, and so yes, I think if anybody can nail that, he can. So that's why I'm excited. But I don't really know what to be excited for. This will be the first time we see it too. Like once I see it at the show, then even if they script it, at least being able to watch somebody play it and go, okay, I sort of get where they're going. Because right now I have no clue where they're going. It could be a fucking visual novel for all I care. Because I just have no clue what it is yet. But
you know what? Indigo actually brought up the new game from Software, Great Rune, which had been leaked and rumored. It's the one that George R.R. Martin had reportedly been working on, and we talked about it in a podcast segment. And what I wanted to ask was a question that I don't think anyone's really thinking of right now with From Software. And I want to know your thoughts on it, because I think they have become it. Do you think that FromSoft is the new Rockstar? And I know Rockstar is like, everyone views them top of the top tier, and that's not really what I'm getting at. I think Rockstar makes excellent games. I think FromSoft makes excellent games. But what they both share in common more than anything is they have 1,000,001 IPs that people are equally passionate about that are completely different from one another. They have the same DNA. You can see the same in like GTA to Bully. Like there's a sense of freedom. Red Dead, there's a sense of freedom. There's openness to it. There's a do what you want type of feeling to it. And don't you get that same feeling with anything from FromSoft? There's that DNA of its difficulty, its world being dense, the lore being tucked away in items, but they're all separate and they all play ever so slightly differently. I wouldn't say slightly. Sorry, that might upset some folks. But Bloodborne's more about aggression. You get hit. If you hit your enemy back, you get your health back. Dark Souls a little more shield hugging, a little more build focus, I'd say, than the rest of the series. And Sekiro's more about dueling. But what's happening is each of these games have a new identity that clicks with someone. Like for me, I don't like GTA that much, but I love Bully and I loved Red Dead Redemption 2. But I'm probably not going to see, maybe I'll see Bully 2 sooner than all of those. But what happens is you establish love for these franchises and you don't see anything new from them for a while. Do you think From Software, with reportedly making another new IP, Great Rune, are they entering that ground?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think I felt that way before Sekiro. Even though they didn't make that many games, I felt they were sort of going that route. So yeah, I would agree. Yeah, there was something about the way they were doing things. I also do believe, though. Yeah, no, I would agree. I would just leave it at that. Yeah, I agree. I think that they know what they sort of are offering, and they do a good enough job when they switch things up to make it still make sense. Sekiro makes sense to the people who like Sekiro. What do you call it? Makes sense. Bloodborne makes sense to people who like action and like more of an offensive stance. Mm-hmm. Dark Souls, even all the 3 Dark Souls really play a little different. I think 3 played much differently than 1 did.
3 was a little more quick.
It was a little more quick, yeah, and it was almost showing a little DNA of Bloodborne, like a little bit.
Yeah, but it's funny because right when I popped that, someone said Bloodborne is a Soul game. And anyone who says otherwise is wrong. And then when I said slightly different, and I think I corrected myself, but if I didn't, I meant to. And then AC Dent was slightly different. So it's funny to see those different opinions. But right away, we see people talking about LA Noire, Manhunt, Bully, GTA. Right away, there's so many series. And I just get the feeling FromSoft with their constant of, we see 3 Dark Souls entries. They did give that its focus, so it makes sense to move on. And you thought Bloodborne would be their next baby, and then you see Sekiro. It's is that the next one? And then we hear Great Rune. Do they just like creating new universes with new toys and tools and having excuses to implement them and just leaving them behind afterwards unless they feel okay, it's time to go back?
Yeah, and they know that, other people will copy them, so they probably sort of percolate a little longer, because, they could have figured out... it seems like they like medieval, but... They could have gone with something futuristic, and the Surge took care of that. Surge 2 is coming out soon as well. So I think the Surge 2 will be on
September,
Microsoft's.
Right?
Yeah, I think it'll be on Microsoft's store, or on Microsoft's page. I had talked about that. I really do believe.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, I think Microsoft will be home to a lot of cool third-party game. Oh my god, my voice just completely fell apart.
Cool third-party games?
Yeah, I think it'll be home to a lot of those. I think we're going to see a lot of announcements, and in between those... we're going to see first-party games.
Well, dude, what's awesome is people can get as mad as they want, but Sony not being there is probably the best thing for E3 in years.
Yeah, it kind of frees things up for focus.
It does. It does. Look at how Polygon... I'm just using a random name. Look at how Polygon can now cover multiple games because it's not being eaten up by looking at the same game's 3 screens for 500 hours, right? And switch out Polygon with every YouTuber. There won't be that focus. There'll be the ability to look at AA games from companies that do Elix, Focus Home Interactive, Big Ben. Big Ben just bought the rights to Werewolf the Apocalypse from Cyanide, which means now, from Focus Home, which now means Cyanide basically completely works with Big Ben. So you have Big Ben, who's doing AA's and budget. You have Focus, AA's and budget. You have THQ, AA's and budget. To me, that's the magic. That's where magic happens, dude. Focus Home, Vampire, fuck you if you don't like Vampire. Dude, I mean, I get it. People don't, and I understand that. But you know what I mean? It's just that's where the magic can happen. And now we have companies that can look. Even Microsoft, for instance, doesn't have to always look over their shoulder for this other company. They could even go and watch somebody else's event for once and go, oh, shit, this event looks awesome. Or this game looks awesome that these guys are doing. Let's go talk to them. And suddenly you have these interactions between people that you never do before. Have you ever had that one friend? I'm probably that in my group. But you've always got that one friend who they sort of lead they're the loud one or whatever, and everybody sort of follows them. But if they're not there, everybody interacts differently. Yes. And that's what I believe could happen at these events. That's why I was saying last week, I believe every E3, somebody should win the lottery and get to be on the main stage. Even it doesn't matter how small they are. Mm-hmm. I would love for them to be like, okay, Microsoft's not on the main stage at this E3. Cyanide is. Go for it. Styx 3. Get out there. Sorry if I'm loud.
No, you're good.
She's saying I'm totally the loud one in my group. It's true. Yeah. But yeah, man, I want to see those guys get the shine. I want to see Piranha Bytes get the shine. I want to see all those companies that somebody in your Discord and somebody in my Discord posted. I had seen it before, but Greedfall.
That was me and mine.
Yeah, dude, that's a game that without the ability to focus on these other titles might have been missed by a giant number of people.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
so I love it. I love it.
For those who don't know, Greedfall is the newest game coming from the developers of Bound by Flame, a game I did not like, and Technomancer, a game I never played, but it looks really cool.
I had fun with it. Total Biscuit and I had a huge argument on my podcast
because I remember watching. Actually, that's when we had first, I think, met. And I remember watching your review, and you're like, "This is actually really cool." And I watched like Total Biscuit's review. He's like, "This fucking sucks." Like, banging the table over it.
It's funny because his reasoning was apt, but my reasoning, he told me, he's like, he's like, okay, now I get where you're coming from. It's just one of those things where when, like, you were looking for different things out of the game, and neither one of us was like looking for an odd thing. It was just like we were looking for different things from the game. And it was fun to talk to somebody like that. I'm really glad I got to meet him before he passed. It was very fun to talk to him and get an idea of where he was coming from. Because I was seeing him talk about not being able to do this and this. I'm like, you can do that. In the game, TB, you can do it. And I talked to him. I'm like, you can do that. And he's like, what? And then we realized that like the tutorial at one spot wasn't good. I picked up on it. He didn't. Which you and I've talked about tutorials before.
Yeah.
Like a bad tutorial can ruin a game. Yeah. Right?
Dangerous territory.
Dangerous territory.
I still think one of the best tutorials in all of gaming, RuneScape.
Why?
Just the way that game opens up and introduces you on how to do each skill in a concise manner, and they fully explain it, and they give you the tools, and they don't like just drop everything on your lap while you're in this big open world. At least the original RuneScape, they kind of drop you in this camp, and you start off with like, you fish for your food. It's like, okay, now you have your food. It's time to cook it, right? So it's like, here's some logs. Here's a tinderbox. Now go ahead and turn this into a fire. Now you're increasing fire making. Now you can cook that fish you caught. Like the way they just brought it all together, whether I was a kid or even now, I just think it's one of the most concise, thorough tutorials. Without
and one that goes over the top, Rage 2. Here's how you jump.
Oh yeah.
Here's how you walk forward.
Take you to the tutorial room.
After a while, you're like, I like it, but I was just like, damn.
No, it can be a lot. I liked it because I think the worst thing is, I think of it like I play a lot of Smite. And when I'm playing a new god, because like I took a break for about like 8 months, I came back now. And when you take a break, you forget how like certain gods play, like what's a leap versus what's a buff, what's a dash. And sometimes in the heat of that match, you don't have time. And by the way, I know this is a multiplayer example, so it may not work, but it's a moment where I think, I wish I knew everything about this ability before I hopped in. Now, you can read the abilities menu, like in the starter menu, but I like to just pick on the fly, hit the matchmaking, get into a group, and just kind of go by the seat of my pants. Fly by the seat of my pants, rather. And
so do I.
I felt like I liked Rage's tutorials because of that aspect where I was able to see like, okay, this is a big ground pound, and if I do upgrade this, there is a singularity thing that pulls everyone in. That's awesome. I get that now. And they drop you in an area where it is designed to make sense, and it feels good to like implement. You get that good first taste with it too,
right?
Because the level that you learn it in is crafted around that very power or that weapon you acquire. And I always like that about that game. But yeah, the tutorial can stagnate the flow for some. I just felt like the game had good flow anyway, but I like a little more downtime in my game, so I know most people are against that, but I understand. Okay, so we've gone through all the major conferences. There's still Devolver and PC Gaming Show, which I have not paid attention to at all, but is there anything else you'd like to add in with your predictions and E3 discussion?
Just that the game of show will be Manhunter on the PC Gaming Show.
Really? That's
the Shark RPG.
Shark RPG,
yeah.
That's insane.
Dude, you have a skill tree as a shark. Like, when they showed it, I am in that for the long haul.
I'm going to look it up now, because you've talked about it twice, both times. I'm going to go look it up. Manhunter?
Dude, it's so... Manhunter, yeah.
Shark RPG.
Dude, and it's made by Tripwire.
Maneater?
Maneater, I'm sorry, yeah. And just the idea of taking a shark... And have a good one, Molotov. The idea of taking a shark and making it an RPG, and I'm sitting there at my house watching this, and I'm like, are you going to be able to upgrade your fins and shit? Like, your teeth for, like, what you can chew through? I just can't wait to play that game. I am so stoked for that game.
I'm looking at, like, screenshots, and, like, oh, man, this shark's about to eat a scuba diver.
Yeah, dude, the idea of that game is so exciting to me because if it works, Matty, they've already jumped the shark, pardon the pun. But they've already gone so far, it to me opens up the idea of other games getting this kind of treatment or other creatures that we don't think of. So to me, I am incredibly excited for this.
Oh my god, you could like dive on the land, grab someone, you could dive on their boat. Oh my god.
You can dive on their boat, you can fucking scoot across the land, and then you upgrade your skills.
This is like my worst nightmare come to life.
I admittedly
sharks are like terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. I didn't see the it says PC gaming show. Oh wow.
Yeah, it'll be there. It'll be there. And it's I mean easily I'm excited for a lot of games, but it is high up on the list.
That's so funny. It says play the role as a shark in a single-player action RPG set in a dark aquatic world.
Dude, I can't wait, man.
Funny.
And just think, what if they send dolphins after you? Because dolphins, are like the natural enemies of sharks. Like, I mean, idea of
like
these
fighting fucking, it looked like alligators or something.
Yeah. I just can't. I can't really wrap my head around it, but it's one of those games where I could see us like in a year talking about indie game of the year, or not indie game of the year, but surprise of the year, and just being like, Manhunter, or Maneater. I just never thought, but yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because I'm kind of repeating what you said, but I feel it needs to be emphasized as well, is that we're going to see some smaller games bubble, I think, to the top.
Yeah.
Provided Microsoft's conference, because it's so long, isn't going to be so jam-packed with tons of shit to see and things to be excited about. Because obviously in most conferences there is that like down period where there's smaller announcements. Like you could tell there's just like, okay, there's like less hype around this. There's less build up around it. But if they were like banging out big one after big one after big one, there is a chance that, maybe some of this big news gets overshadowed, but I hope not.
Yeah.
Because it would be really cool. Do you know if that has multiplayer at all?
No, there's a Steam game that allows you to be divers versus sharks, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
like deep dive. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, like deep dive or something like that. Which as far as I remember, actually got pretty good reviews. But this is the first one that's really like this in particular. And to me, other than Age of Empires, because I'm old school, and some of those games, the idea of Manhunter or Maneater excites me because the idea of all of us talking about it just excites me. I don't know why, because like if instead of being like, what vampire skill did you pick, I'm like, dude, what Jaws skill did you pick? The only other one I would say is Werewolf the Apocalypse, simply because that's my favorite D&D world of all time. So Vampire the Masquerade is based in the same world. Then did you see they announced 2 other vampire-based games? Both Masquerade, both based in the same world. There's 2 other companies.
Was one of them a tabletop, or am I imagining things?
No, that's a completely separate one.
Like a full-on video game?
There's 2. There's 2 other vampire games. Vampire Wars was announced this morning, and then a Vampire Something, which is like Telltales almost, is another one. And then Werewolf the Apocalypse is being developed and is being published by Big Ben. So.
Okay.
Yep.
So with our predictions out of the way, we still have our patron hot takes and questions. Now, I actually have not perused these. I just tagged everyone in the Discord. I said, it's time for the questions, hot takes, and whatever else you want to throw in there. So we'll see as we go along. Let's see what the patrons had to say. We'll start off with AC Denton, who is in the chat right now. What game did you think had potential but was done bad and deserves another look at from players or look at from developers and or players, preferably an older title? This question came to mind the other day, and an example I had was Omicron.
Yeah. David Cage. David Bowie sings in it.
Oh.
You take over multiple people's bodies. You have not heard of Omicron? Oh, game's so good.
Not at all, yeah. An old game that I'd love people to go about. This isn't super old, but I'd love to see a second look at Marvel Heroes Omega. I think. I just, yeah.
Me too.
I just really would love to see them like, okay, how can we restructure this? Do we sell it for $10? Get rid of all of the microtransactions, the grind, and do more people buy in. I just wish I saw more testing to see that game live. I'd love to see someone go back and give that another shot.
One of my favorite moments in the Discord was actually joining a guy from Florida. He had just joined the Discord, and we were doing games with patrons, and he jumped in, and we talked while we were just choosing different heroes, running around, and it was one of those games. It was like Diablo on the consoles, where it's just like two people can sit down and just play and just have a blast. That game, yeah, you're right. That game's awesome. For me, it's Advent Rising, without a shadow of a doubt. It wasn't great. It was written by Orson Scott Card, who's a complete schizophrenic. I'm just nut bar. I shouldn't say schizophrenics are nuts. He's legit nuts, though. Which means he probably won't be able to write another game. But the ideas were amazing. Targeting was shit. Movement was shit. But the story was probably one of the best sci-fi stories I've ever played in my life.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, Advent Rising. Yeah, Tommy Tallarico did one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in that title.
I think I don't think it's a bad game, but a game that I think deserves another look from developers and players. I've told you about is Death Row, that like fighty arcade game with like the disc throwing and.
Yep.
I fucking love that game.
Yep.
I fucking love it. Holy shit! All right, Poseidon Raw has a hot take. Bethesda will show Starfield despite saying they won't. During the Microsoft press conference, they will announce more partnerships / collaborations with Nintendo, such as a character in Smash Bros. And other content like that. Also, during EA's conference, they will have some type of KOTOR news because they announced they are making a movie out of it. Very interesting hot takes, Poseidon Raw. He also likes Smite, so great name. Mike Fury asks about the possibility of getting an ES6 teaser. I'm going to make that short and sweet, Mike, my good friend. No. Bearded Panda asks, do you think Doug Bowser will make an appearance at E3 and introduce himself as the president of Nintendo like Reggie did? Also, what are the chances of Master Chief coming to Smash?
Well, the Nintendo Direct is a video. They already said that. So
yeah, they don't do like a live on stage thing, yeah.
He could easily open the video, though. And come out in a Bowser suit would be hilarious. Dude, and they're already joking about it. He jokes about it. Like, the world was joking about it.
Yeah, so I think that's a great last name for...
Yeah, it's a missed opportunity for him to not walk onto that white background Nintendo's known for and grab the head and pull it off and be like, hi, I'm blah, 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 Bowser. And
but maybe if he does that, because his name actually is Doug Bowser, if he does that, do you think people who see it go, oh, he's just a meme? Like, this guy actually isn't named Doug Bowser, and he's not actually the president of Nintendo?
They would be proven wrong instantly, and it's a Nintendo Direct, so that would be on them. Like, I don't think we should coddle dumb people.
No, I mean, I'm with you. I was just thinking,
They may. No, I mean, they may, but I wouldn't care. I think that's fan service. So you know how it is. Sometimes fan service misses people's heads a bit.
100%.
I'm okay with it missing their heads on that
100%.
one.
As for the chances of Chief coming to Smash, original gaming character, I'd say he foots the bill. He would fit. It's just a matter of if they want to make it happen or not. It'd just be kind of a gritty choice. Not that they haven't had other ones before like that. Like, I'd say Persona 5 was a bit of a grittier game, especially its opening.
Well, they could go with the Halo comics, a Halo comic version. Oh, because you're talking about Master Chief, right?
Yeah, they've done it before with Arbiter and Killer Instinct, so I don't see why it's not possible.
They could take the graphics from the comic, which are much more big-headed, goofy.
Adam from our podcast last week gives us 5 hot takes from safest to spiciest. Number 5, Skyrim will be officially announced for Stadia. 4, 8K won't be as big of a deal as everyone thinks it will be. 3, EA Showcase won't be really cringy, and it'll actually be alright. 2, Aisha Tyler will make an appearance at Ubisoft's press conference. 1, Devolver Digital will win E3, or at least come in as close as second. Excellent takes from Adam, who was a fantastic guest last week. Really had a blast.
Yeah, that was a blast.
There is a lot of agreements here. A little bit of beef happening in the podcast questions. Hot take from Mike Fury. The balance of power shifts and Xbox starts leading, to which Adam, Bearded Panda agreed, but Holzer said nah. Holzer said nah in the chat. So there's a little bit of debate there. Grim Coon, he changed his name again, Grim Coon.
Jeez, Grim.
Yeah, again.
Bro.
Again.
Don't worry, Mike Fury, I agree with you. They're wrong. Anyway, continue.
Grim always changes his name, but he keeps Grim in it, so we know it's him. He asks, what is something that would probably never happen that you want to still see at this year's E3? Personally, I'm holding out that Valve for that Valve-Bethesda merger. They would be a VR powerhouse, and Machine Games could have a cool take on Half-Life. Well, here's the thing, friend. We live in a world where SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, one of the greatest Nickelodeon games, by the way, but SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is getting remastered.
Yeah,
we live
right.
in a world where Ghostbusters is getting remastered. So, I think it's very well plausible with the course of the movie.
Kill All Humans or whatever is also getting the alien one. Destroy All Humans is getting remastered.
Everything from the 2000s is coming back. There is a relic from 2003 that maybe people are forgetting. I may have reminded you a time or two. I would like to see KOTOR HD at Microsoft's conference. That is what I'm holding out hope for every year I do so.
Okay, then I'll go.
Go.
I'll one-up you. If Microsoft's going to do it, they're not going to do an HD. If Microsoft does it, it'll be a KOTOR remaster. Complete remaster.
Like ground up? Ground up. Oof. That'd be cool. Who would make it?
I don't know. I'm just we're just going all the way though.
I respect it. Chap Mayor asks, what's your most underrated side quest? This has nothing to do with E3, but we'll answer it anyway because we're good people.
That's a combo breaker. Combo breaker.
The flow has been stagnated. We were just banging these out in record fashion.
Side quest for Rick.
Because it's hard to pick out underrated from your own brain because you value it so high. Yeah,
and I think we talked about this a little bit with KOTOR because the Manan one with the slavery.
That's
Go ahead.
A good one. This isn't my most underrated. I don't quite honestly know what it would be, but I think of in the Pirate's Cove, I think it is, in Jade Empire, where you walk into the cave and you can convince that girl to become like a stone cold killer and like stab her captors. I just thought there was something fucking crazy about that, or you can like do it yourself and then she runs away in fear from you. Like you were literally determining someone's future, and it's just like a very empowering but frightening yet cool moment in the game, and it just happens. It's not part of the story. Like you can just dust by it, you can ignore it. I just thought it was really cool.
I'm mad because I was picking Jade Empire, the cow, the guy loving the cow, and his wife. They're in the swamps. Do you even remember that?
I don't
the guy
remember that.
loves his. Oh, the guy has a love affair with this.
fair.
The guy has a love affair with his cow,
What?
and I just laughed my entire way through it. Yeah, he wants to save the cow, and oh, dude, it's awesome.
I remember the one in Jade Empire where there was like that orphanage that got like flooded.
Oh yeah, that was creepy, and you could turn the kids evil to kill the headmaster.
Yeah.
Or you could have them not, and that was a step up.
And they,
man.
you could talk to them, and they were like ghosts. Yeah,
that shit was next level, man.
Some people
Jade
were known for
Empire
some
people.
shit.
Jade Empire. You got to check that game out, man.
Would the colonist background quest from Mass Effect 1 be underrated? I don't know. Mass Effect 1, it's been since 20.
Well, I've played Mass Effect 1 over 100 times, and I'm trying to think of which one he means. Oh, no, I know what one he means. I don't know if that's actually technically a underrated, because a lot of people talk about it. I think with Mass Effect 1, underrated would probably be...
Obviously, the part where Commander Shepard punches the reporter. No one talks about that.
Dude, that game. I mean, I know people have issues with combat. I'm fine with it because it's an older game. That game has so many amazing quests when you parse it out. Yeah. I guess that would be underrated, I guess, when you think about it.
I just felt like the game, even when I originally played it, like way back, I just felt like it was trying to do something it wasn't ready to do, and it had to condense itself, and then when they were ready to do it in Andromeda, they just kind of like fucked up.
Oh yeah, I feel that way about 1, 2, and 3 though.
Yeah. Oh really? I think 2 and 3 were really good. Even 3, despite the ending, I was like, I still really enjoyed 3's journey.
I enjoyed 1 the most because I liked the story in 1 the most. 2 I liked, 3 I was gonna like, but then they just ignored like 80 plot points in 2 and pretended they didn't exist, like dark energy and all this shit. I mean, they just ignored it. They were like, we're changing the entire plot. And then I think the recreation of Shepard at the starting of each one was dumb too. Like, oh, he's dead, so we're gonna recreate him from DNA, and you're like, oh god. Oh, we've changed the way guns work. The entire universe has changed the entire way, like, all guns work.
It feels like they forced like time to move forward.
Yeah, they did, didn't they? Yeah. But hey, you know what? Regardless, I mean, they're such high quality games. I guess arguing about which one's best is sort of weird. So,
I'm still trying to think of like Like I was thinking, because we were on like a little BioWare roll, I was trying to think of side quests in Dragon Age Origins, but I also realized my main affinity with that game is definitely its main story. It's a DLC, but I really liked Return to Ostagrath.
Ostagrath. Or Ostagar. Ostagar.
Yeah.
It's Gar, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that DLC. There was just like, because it was such a pinnacle moment in the story the first time you play it, and then they have a DLC that I didn't play for years, and then I got the Ultimate Edition to replay the game, and I went back to Ostagar after that moment, and it was like, you know, something that sits with you, and it actually felt like you were returning to something that like deeply touched you, and there was just something interesting about that. You killed the ogre thing that killed the commander early in the game.
Let me tell you something that's
that was a really good
awesome
part.
development, Rise, real quick about Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins, the main story and main game is good. I wouldn't say it's amazing. I would say it's very good. The reason why that game gets so much credit is a very intelligent thing, which was them giving you that 1 hour starting with each race being different. That nailed it. Yes, because it quite literally does what no other game does. It makes the character, other than Dragon's Dogma, where a tall character can jump, where a short one can't, most games don't give a fuck. You can dress your guy as a dragon, and people are like, hey, look at Skyrim. You kill everybody, you show up, and some dude's like, somebody stole your sweet roll. And I'll be like, bitch, I'm going to roll you. I'm going to tear you out of your armor. Like, I've killed everybody in this game, and you don't give a fuck. Like, what the hell? So, Origins is exactly that. It made the origin of the character that you created actually matter in the game for 1 hour. And that 1 hour felt longer for everybody. If you talk to anybody, they're like, no, it mattered longer. It actually didn't. It was that starting where they made it matter.
One of my favorite side quests. I don't know, maybe it's not a side quest. It's encounters. It's actually in Morrowind, funny enough. A game that I have not put a ton of time into, and I've been very open about.
Are you going to talk about the falling guy?
Hell yeah. I fucking love that part.
He's one of the best moments in a game.
Absolutely. Like, you're just walking around here, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then you just walk, and you see a guy just laying on the floor dead.
Yep.
You see, like, his notepad saying he was going to prove everybody wrong and create this super cool jumping potion, and then he killed himself doing it.
Absolutely one of the top... all of my family members have played that game at least to that point. Mm-hmm. They may not have continued.
It's literally, you just make a left out of Satan Ian, and you just see it every time.
You just make a left, and you see it, and you're just like, what in the is going on? And then you can put his boots on and try it yourself and die.
Yeah.
Like, it was next level as a moment in a fantasy game. They nailed it.
Yeah, it's amazing because it almost symbolized what the game stands for. And I know I can't speak on it too much for my lack of experience with it, but like, you make a right, and you can get on the Silt Strider, and you can like go to a town, and you kind of get on this more serious path. Imagine it's like your first time. It's like, what, 2003, I think, when that game came out?
Yeah, Xbox original.
You make a left, and you go down that path, and this guy just falls next to you. You're like, what? Like, what is that tone set for the whole game? Like, are you like, is this a goofy game now?
I'll tell you,
it's so fast.
I'll tell you another tone setter that people probably won't agree with me, but I think is that sets the tone for the entire game is Skyrim, the 10,000 steps. The steps, the climb.
Going up to the front of the world or whatever?
Yeah, because there's a majesty in Skyrim that never existed in the other games, and the verticality in Skyrim that is beyond any other game that's a fantasy game like that. And you are consistently climbing those steps and you're passing geography. You're going from verdant, green grass, sort of barren to snow, to the top of this wispy mountain. And they ended up doing such an amazing job. 7,000. I said 7,000. Somebody just corrected me today when I said 7,000. It said it was 10,000. Bastards. So it was 7,000. I was right.
I guess Camel counted them too.
I counted them too. I counted them because I've talked about. I did an entire video on this. So, but the 7,000 steps. Dude, it's perfect. It encapsulates the entire moment of you ascending to this new world that you had not seen before in any other fantasy game. And that entire time you're encountering people, you're encountering a couple monsters, but the land is changing. The trolls, but the ground you're changing. You're actually seeing the elevation matter. Yeah, which rarely matters in games, and it was amazing. Like
I get that, because then you leave
job.
and you see the whole world ahead of you. Yeah.
Oh, dude, really cool. And you're up there, and the wind is starting to blow, and you look down, and you can see your little village, way down. It just nailed it for me.
It's one of the few games that usually I'm like, we should have seen more choice and consequence, but it's one of the games that perfectly captures adventuring.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
well, and that
absolutely.
I would not trade Skyrim for what it is today.
No,
I think
no,
it's
no.
so good.
Yeah, for its time,
yeah,
it was pushing the limits.
it absolutely was. Like I was totally fine with taking a little less choice and consequence for what that game did. Anyway, great question, Chapmare. Last one is, what's a book or film that would make for a great game adaptation? Asks Johnny EC.
I've got mine.
Let's hear it.
Eureka, the TV show. Eureka would probably have to be a Telltale style, but it was about a sheriff who goes to a place in Oregon where they find out all the top scientists live. And he's a like a common sense sheriff. He's not very intelligent, and everybody else is super intelligent, so he saves the day all the time. But it was 6 seasons, and it was a comedic. It was very well written, and it was done in a way where every episode was a new weird experiment that went wrong. One of the better shows I've ever seen. I would say top 10 shows that I've ever seen, and I would absolutely kill to see Eureka. Oh, somebody else likes it. Look at that, Obi-Wan. You're my man.
Good stuff.
Internet fist bump.
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Eureka, people need to check that show out. That show, and it had all the Battlestar Galactica actors come on it at the end.
It's just that I feel most shows, I watch TV from time to time, but mostly like I'll watch anime, and there's usually a game based off it somewhere. Right. Movies, a lot of what I've partaken in, like you could see the inspirations, like Blade Runner, I think it was. Like you could see that in Fallout 4. Like you could see direct drags from it, where I feel like, why would they make a movie about that if like
or a game about it, you mean?
Yeah, that's sorry. Why would they make a game about it if it captures it so well? It's doing the same thing. If I'm thinking of the right movie, by the way. I'm sure someone on the chat will correct me if I'm not. I'd say, you know what? There's been a book. Where is it? It's right here. Hold on. Give me 1 sec, because I got to get the name. I've read little bits and pieces of it. Star Wars Darth Bane Path of Destruction.
Yeah, it's a very good book.
Really good book. Excellent writing. Like, holy shit. Very visceral detail. Very, very visceral detail. And I think the way they paint his character, Darth Bane, and how just fucking, like, evil he is. He's not like, oh, he's the Sith, he's bad. Like, he's fucking evil, twisted. I'd love to see a game based off of him, working for him or with him, taking him on. I don't know what perspective they take, but I think that would be a cool character to base the book around. So basically, Star Wars KOTOR 3. No, it's not KOTOR 3.
I already told you, strangely enough, if there's any Sith I want him to make a game after, it's that fucking the Dark Lord with the mask, who had the,
I think he starts with an M. Like,
who had Kelly Hu as his like slave, as his second. It was Darth Nihilus, right?
Oh, the mask, the full mask.
Yeah, I fucking
Nihilus,
love that guy, man.
Yeah,
and he's like a void of the Force. Like, he's a void. He's like a black hole that just sucks the Force. Fucking that. No, not Malik. It's Nihilus, I think is his name.
Yeah, from KOTOR 2, right?
Yeah, from KOTOR 2. I love.
It pulls my mind. He's like front and center on this cover art, and he doesn't say a word.
He doesn't.
All game, and when you fight him, it's like the most. You don't even fight him. I think you fight as like one of your companions against him. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they didn't handle his. He was ill used. We'll just say that. Mm-hmm. Very ill used.
Yeah, admittedly,
the hungry one. True.
Admittedly, I haven't read enough books but like most shows.
Shannara. Did you ever see the TV show Shannara? Because it was on for 3 seasons. Terry Brooks, he did Lost Kingdom for Sale, Shannara. Their fantasy books are some of the best I've ever read that aren't
for
like
example,
Tolkien.
I used to watch a lot of Walking Dead, and they did the Telltale series, which is good.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like most shows, they don't get a direct adaptation, but like there is a series made after it in the gaming industry, because games is big enough now where you usually see like all spectrums of medium getting covered. I could reverse it and pick games I'd want to see like shows about. That could be interesting, but I guess that's for another conversation. That will wrap up all the Patreon questions, though, Karak.
Look at that.
That will also wrap up pretty much our show.
Jericho, thank you, Morph. I was going to say Jericho, but there's already been comics and everything, so I didn't want to use it. But yes, I would agree. Jericho was fucking amazing. I don't know if you could do a game on it, but...
I've heard good things about that one.
Jericho and Fringe, I would have loved both of those, but I think they're both wrapped up, if you know what I mean. Like,
Green
every time
Arrow?
dude, I'd kill. I told you this. Like, I would fucking love a Green Arrow, but it'd just be Batman as another dude. But
wait, Indigo just said new Tales of game just leaked. What? Oh man, hold on. What?
Book of Eli. What? Whoop, 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 whoop. Stand by.
Hold on, I want to see.
New Tales game leaked. I'm reading it. It is. Oh wait, no not Tales. Not Telltale. It's Tales of Arise. It's Tales.
Oh, wait, Tales of
I'm
what?
not a big.
What's it called?
It's called Tales of Arise. Arise. It's going to be at the Microsoft conference. It looks pretty. You want me to post the picture in the Discord or in the chat?
I'm looking it up right now. Oh man, it's not coming up on my news. What's going on?
You want here? I'll just post it here.
Yeah,
it's in your Discord now.
Yeah.
That's the picture. That's all it says is new Tales game.
That's the in-game screenshot.
That's in game. Yeah.
What?
Xbox footage. Do you want me to post it in the?
Hold on, no, someone tweeted
in the chat?
at me. Indigo said he's tweeting it at me. Oh my god.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Not really a lot of data on it.
Oh man, that looks so fucking clean. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off track there, but oh man.
You know what? I'm gonna ruin your life right now.
No.
You ready?
No.
That's post-processed to all shit. That's not an actual gameplay screen by itself. That's been photoshopped.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
so I'm getting
no,
tricked?
No, you're not getting tricked. It's just a typical here's a screenshot. This is what the game is, but that's not actually
gameplay.
It won't look like. Yeah, that's beyond 4K.
Yeah, I mean I can tell that, but like I'm talking about the aesthetic and the
very much so.
The graphical style looks very.
Boy, I'm a nerd. I counted the pixels in that amount of time. Anyway,
do you do this for a living by chance?
Yeah, maybe. But sorry guys. Blaze says he's lost as fuck. We were getting ready to wrap up the podcast, and somebody said a new Tales of game was leaked, and so we went to Reddit to find a picture. And we found some pictures, and Maddie's posting them right now. Those are the pictures.
Put it in the
Apologies.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's just I've been saying, Karak, I've definitely said it to you. Like I'm like, when's the new Tales game coming? Because I got Berseria on sale. I'm starting
I was not a fan, bro.
I know. I'm just saying I haven't played it. And I was like, you know what? Like it feels like it's been so long. Usually Tales felt like every year there was like Tales of Exilia 2. Like they were just banging them out. Man, unbelievable. Unbelievable. Great way to wrap up the show. So we thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for taking your time to join us on our E3 show. We hope you enjoyed. Those of you who got here early and heard the quiz, we hope you enjoyed that part. That was easily...
Yeah, that'll be a blast. That'll be a blast to see.
I think people will really enjoy that when they listen to the pre-recorded segment, which will go live. If you're listening live now and you missed the beginning, it will go live tomorrow. If you're a patron, you get it within like 20 minutes after I shut this thing down. So thank you guys all so much for joining us on this excellent episode.
I'm going to close with something when you're ready.
No, dude, I was good. I was just going to say, we'll be back next week. We'll grade your quiz, and we'll pick up where with a little post-E3 discussion. And we'll have Fighting Cowboy as a guest, by the way.
For next week?
Yes.
I just want to say to everybody, thank you very much for supporting Maddie and I. Last week alone, I had 61 copyright strikes and 44 demonetized videos. Wow. So when we talk about Patron in a video, which I was telling Maddie prior to this podcast, I posted my video to YouTube and lost like 100 subscribers just because I was talking about this. But it has to be talked about. The demonetization and stuff is crazy. So when we talk about Patron or we talk about whatever, we're not full of bullshit, man. Like, neither one of us push it very often or do single videos. I don't think we do single videos almost ever. But it's a disaster right now. So if you, it doesn't have to be us. If you're following somebody, they've saved you some cash or found a game you didn't know that you would like and you ended up liking it, might want to throw them $5, man, because it is getting insane. Yeah, it is getting insane. So I just wanted to say it is a very unique time right now. So if you see people talking about that stuff, it's not because they are rolling in Scrooge McDuck money, because I am certainly not. It's a bitch right now.
They shut your shit down pretty fast.
Yeah. People are getting demonetized fully too. Channels are like fully getting demonetized.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah. I see it every day.
Yeah. Anyway,
so
just
we're not even
saying
for ourselves. We're just saying for those of you out there who support someone really hardcore and maybe they're going through a similar thing, consider flicking them a buck.
Yes, exactly.
If you choose to flick us a buck, we really do appreciate it, but we just ask that you watch out for your creators you value.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, oh man, now people are saying the Cyberpunk Collector's Edition.
It's bad. It's bad. The picture is the most horrible. I'll show it to you. It's the most horrible picture ever.
Wow. Hold on. We have one more leak before this show.
You want me to post this? Let me post it. This is legit the ugliest picture I think I've ever seen. I'll post it in the Twitch. It is.
Let's see.
Here we go.
Here.
And then there's yours. Okay. Look at that cover. Look at that cover. That is the most generic, nasty. It looks like an ACG made that. It looks like I made the cover.
No.
It looks like somebody with no skill made the cover. I made that cover for Cyberpunk.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God, bro. It's just a yellow background with a dude holding a gun. They literally said, what stands out on the shelf?
Oh, man. Anyway, that's terrible. Hey, flick them a buck. I'm just joking. Flick us a buck. Fuck them.
Holy smokes, bro! What the?
Yeah, that's terrible. That is. Some
I don't think your
thumbnails
look bad, but that literally looks like what your thumbnail for the review will be. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, dude! You just gave me an idea. You just gave me an idea for the thumbnail for that review, man.
Oh man! All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed, and we will catch you guys next week. Thank you so much, and peace out.